And if I can have a 7 million portfolio, anybody can. I would say for myself, I would say never ever give up for your dreams and goals. Because when I saw my portfolio growing, I actually wanted it to be like a snowball. So the snowball that cannot keep rolling, right? You'll just keep growing until the retirement goal is met. So for myself, if all goes well, currently 36, I can retire for 48 years old. Which I want to, and also I want to share that no matter what we have in our life challenges, right? We must never ever give up because I'm a stage 4 cancer survivor. And if I can have a 7 million portfolio, anybody can. And I also have a daughter that I need to walk down the wedding house, so I cannot die so fast. One more thing I want to say that I appreciate the positive energy we have in our community, that everyone is willing to work and be happy for each other and not be jealous and envy each other such that you know, we get jealous, it's very silly like that. So I wish everyone all the best, and hopefully we all make retreat and go overseas and all become here together.
All right, guys, welcome back from lunch. All right, who is ready for gear 5? If you're ready for gear 5, can you type 5 in the chat? In the meantime, can we ask our team member to help to make sure everybody can start typing in the chat so that I can see people can hear my voice and we are ready to get started. All right, if you can hear my voice and if you're ready for gear 5, type 5 in the chat. And in the meantime, I'm going to share my slides. All right, who is ready for gear 5? Because we are ready to level up even more, right? After understanding how to use strategy X plus, right? We want to equip you guys with additional technical analysis. All right, this is part where technical analysis comes in really handy, especially when it comes to entry and exit of your options position. And this, it's moving averages. Can everybody type MA in the chat, right? Exactly how can you use moving averages to increase your ROI further, all right? To make sure you execute your option strategy even more safely, all right? In the meantime, maybe I can also ask my team member just to take down the mentorship form because it has been officially closed, all right? So now let's get started. Firstly, what are moving averages? Now, in terms of moving averages, there are actually 2 types, okay? But for us, I will share with you later on what type of moving averages are we using. But firstly, let's make it clear, what are moving averages? Because we all know that, right? The stock market always move up and down every single day, right? So what we actually want is to find out the average value of the stock price, right? Of this stock, how it behave over a period of time. So if you're able to find out the closing price of the stock every single day, and you plot the closing price every single day, they will form a line, right? And that is moving averages. And because when we want to enter options trade, all right, we want to make sure we place more weightage to the more recent data that really reflect the recent market. How is it moving? All right, is it going up? Is it going down? And that's why we are using EMA, exponential moving averages. Can everybody type EMA in the chat? Right, because 2 types, one is simple moving averages, one is exponential, and exponential give more weightage to the recent data, and that's why we want to use EMA. And why do we want to use EMA? Because it actually provides you a more objective way of looking at trends. Because yesterday we learned to draw support and resistance, and some of you may be thinking, hey, but the way I draw is a little bit different from how Bowen draw it, right? So what to do, right? Because that is very subjective sometimes, right? But if you use EMA, it's very objective, and automatically, once you fill in the indicator later on, I'm going to share with you how you can do that in your trading view. Immediately, it's plotted out for you. So it's automatic, it's very objective. And I'm going to share with you how can you analyze it. Now, very importantly, because we know chart has different time frame, right? If you're looking at a 1 year chart, every single candle, right? Anybody know if you're looking at 1 year chart, one candle represents what is the period? Anybody know what is the period? If you look at 1 year, one candle represents 1 day. Very good, right? So let's say right now you are looking at a 1 year chart. And because one candle represents 1 day, if you have 20 candles, that means you are looking at 20 days, right? 50 candles and 50 days. And if you plot your EMA inside a 1 year chart, all right? So if you see 20, 50, 200 EMA inside a 1 year chart, it actually represents 20 days EMA, 50 days EMA, as well as 200 EMA. And I want all of you to remember this number, okay? Type it down inside the chat. 20, 50, 200 are the period, are the EMA that we are going to use. And because professional fund managers out there, right? Those professional investors are all looking at these three numbers. And that's why when we are also looking at the same number, right? The same chart that they are looking, we have a better understanding in terms of how they are interpreting the market. And then we are able to use options to our advantage. Now, just now we are talking about inside 1 year chart. How about right now if we shift to a 5 year chart? Okay, if you're going to a 5 year chart, one candle represents 1 week, right? So that is why if you're looking at a 5 year chart and you plot your 20, 50, 200 EMA inside, then it actually represents 20 weeks EMA, 50 weeks EMA, as well as 200 weeks. So that's why the number 20, 50, 200 is more important because it stands for period. Depending on the chart you're looking at, it will represent different time frame. Now, how do we use it? Okay, because once you plot in these three lines, you will be able to see how it's a trend right now. All right, and we are going to break down individual trends for you step by step. And there are 4 trends. Can everybody type 4 in the chat? Okay, and let's start with something that is very easy to understand, which is a bullish trend. All right, so how does a bullish trend actually looks like? All right, right now, think about it as 20, 50, 200 as the kg of a person. So 20 is like a child, right? 20 kg. 50 is like a lady, a woman, 50 kg. 200 is like a Japanese sumo man, a super big size, okay, 200 kg. So when the 20 kg on top, the child, 50 kg the middle in a woman, all right, and the bottom is the 200 kg sumo. This is super balanced, right? Very stable. And that's why this is a bullish trend. That means it's very stable, going up, going up, going up like this, right? So this is where the 20, 50, 200 is being aligned if it's a bullish trend. But what about downward pressure? Right now, okay, what kind of market we are experiencing? We are experiencing bear market, right? How do we know? Because right now it's the opposite. Right? Imagine right now your 200 kg sumo man is squashing the 50 kg women, is squashing the 20 kg child, right? It's like suffocating. And that's why this is a bearish trend, right? So can everybody type 250, 20 in the chat? If it's a bearish trend, this is the opposite. It's like an inverted pyramid. It's going to topple, right? So that's why it's very bearish. Now, how about in between? Because we all know that trend doesn't stay forever, right? You can't stay in a bullish trend forever. You also won't be in a bear market forever as well. That's why we are so excited, right? So how do we see, when will the trend start to turn? Because when the trend start to turn, that's when, all right, you can start taking different type of actions, right? So now let's take a look at the right hand side first, right? On your right hand side, this is where turning bullish, because just now was the inverted pyramid, right? The 20 kg at the bottom, 200 at the top, right? So right now, can you see your 20 kg child has slowly climbed upwards across your 50 kg women. So right now, 20 kg is in between. So it's slightly more balanced because the 50 kg is at the bottom, but still not very balanced yet because the 200 kg is still on top. But this is where it's called turning bullish, because the 20 is turning upwards, climbing upwards and cross 50. And eventually this 20, it will also cross above 200. Right? And if that happens and the 50 kg also follow to cross above 200, that is when the pyramid, the very balanced pyramid back, right? Because 200 kg at the bottom. So this is where the turning bullish actually happens. And this is the kind of trend that we want to observe, especially in this market condition right now, which later on we're going to look at the chart, okay? So this is the right-hand side. If this is clear for you, can type C in the chat. C stands for clear. Now, how about the opposite, which is on your left-hand side, okay? There is also turning bearish trend. So at first, it's very bullish, right? 20 kg on top. But right now, your 20 kg is slowly going downwards and being crushed by the 50 kg women, right? So this is where the baby starts to kind of suffocate a little bit, but the base is still strong. The base is still 200. And this is where this is called turning bearish. All right, and that's why there are 4 types of trends, and the trends are constantly evolving. So we need to use different type of trend for different type of option strategies as well. Now, usually, okay, to make it very simple to understand, we actually can color code it. All right, 20, we use basically the traffic light system. 20 is the green, all right, 50 is the amber, which is the orange, and the 200 is red. All right, so that's very simple to understand. But most importantly, because some people may choose to want to use different color. So I do not want you to remember the by color. I want you to remember by the behavior of the lines, so that even everybody use different color, you can also tell what is 20, what is 50, and what is 200. So right now, let's take a look, okay? Which color do you think is 20, 50, 200 respectively? Now, think about it, okay? Because 20, that means it's the most recent 20 period market data. 50, that means it's 50 period market data. 200 is 200 period market data. Which one do you think is most heavy? Okay, which one do you think is most heavy? Okay, 20, 50, or 200? Most heavy is a 200. Right? And because they got so many data points, it will be weighted down, right? So that is why it will be very far away from the stock price. Stock price is very nimble. Every day it will change. But right now, 200 is measuring 200 period of the average closing price of the stock. And that's why very, very far away from the current stock price. So can everybody tell me, in this chart, which one is 200? Which one is 200? Which color? Yes, it is the red, right? It's furthest away. How about the green? All right, the green, you can see it tracks the stock price very closely, right? Because it's very nimble, right? And that's why the green is 20, right? Because it's only the most recent 20 period data. It tracks the stock price closely. And then in the between, which is right now the yellow line, is your 50 EMA. All right, if you understand it, can you type U in the chat? Very good. Now, since many of you understand, let me give you one more test. Okay, in this case, the colors are completely different right now. Can you tell me which one is 20 EMA? Which one tracks the stock price very closely? That will be the 20 EMA. Very good. All right. Okay. It is the red. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Some of you probably can't see it yet. Can you see? Okay. Over here, this is a red line, right? Why is this the 200 EMA? You can see that 20 EMA. You can see that the stock price, right, almost fluctuate, right? Very close, right? Super close at the red line. Super close, right? All these are super close, right? And that is why this is a 20 EMA. Tracking very closely to the stock price. On the other hand, how about the green line? Can everybody tell me what is the green? The green line is 50, right? It's slightly further away from the stock price, right? The gap, can you see the gap? It's wider. Now, how about this blue line? What is this blue line? What does it represent? Very good. That is your 200. And you can see that this 200 almost as if it didn't move much, right? Because it needs to track 200 period of data, right? So now the key question is, now we know how to interpret 20, 50, 200, right? But how do we enter our option strategies based on EMA to increase our ROI further? Right? What we need to do is actually use EMA to enter in tranches. Okay, what does entering in tranches mean? For example, right now, okay, can everybody look at the left hand side first? Okay, I'm going to draw a line for you here. So everything on the left hand side of the red line, can everybody tell me what trend is this first? Okay, so from here to here, what trend is this? Okay, we have 4 trends now: bullish, bearish, turning bullish, turning bearish. Which one? Okay, it's bearish. Okay, don't use downtrend because right now it's more technical. I want you to understand this new term called bearish. How do we interpret it? Why do we know it's bearish? Okay, very good. Just like a lot of you are typing right now. Can everybody tell me what is this blue line? 20, 50, or 200? What is this blue line? Nice. It is 200, right? Because it's very far away, very stable, right? From the stock price. Now, how about the 50? 50 is your green, right? And this is your 50, and followed by red, which is tracking super closely to the stock price, and that is your 20 EMA. So can you see that right now? Sumo on top, 50 kg women, and then followed by the 20 kg chow. So now it's an inverted pyramid. This is why this is a bearish trend. Now, turning from bearish, it will eventually move on to another trend, which is start to turn bullish, right? So can everybody point out your finger for me, right? Just point it to the screen. I'm going to draw it for you at the same time. Can you tell me where is the sign of turning bullishness? Okay, everybody, 3, 2, 1, point your finger, and I'm going to draw 3, 2, 1. Is this the same? If it's the same for you, can you type S in the chat, right? Can everybody tell me, did you get this, the same sign of turning bullish? Fantastic. How do we know? All right, because remember, when right now it's the inverted pyramid, right? 20 at the bottom, when it starts to climb upwards, all right, across your 50, that's when your 20 kg baby is in the middle, right? 200 is still on top, but right now the 20 kg baby is in the middle. And this is where it's a first sign of turning bullish, right? And then subsequently, can you also draw a circle for me? Where is the bullish trend intact? That means it's already bullish already. Very clear it's bullish. Can everybody draw? 3, 2, 1. All right. Is this the same for everybody? If it's the same, can you type me in the chat? All right. Why is it here? Because we have to ensure 20 on top, which is a red line, 50 in the middle, which is your green line, and then your blue, which is 200, all the way at the bottom. And this is where the second circle is the bullishness, right? Very clear, it's bullish. Now, the thing is, if you want to enter bullish trade, if you have a bigger portfolio, for example, right? If you have a bigger portfolio, that means you have multiple bullets to shoot, right? Not just doing one option contract. You can do multiple option contract, right? So if you can afford to do that, you can consider entering your first bullish strategy at circle number 1, all right? So this is for people who have bigger portfolio. However, if you have more limited in terms of your ammunition, right? Your bullet is very limited. Which part do you think is safer, right? Arrow number 1 or circle number 2? Which one do you think is safer if you have limited bullet? Exactly, right? It is your arrow number 2. So that is why if you have a smaller portfolio, you cannot afford to go wrong so much. So that means you should only enter your bullish strategy, for example, be it your especially strategy X, right? During number 2 scenario, all right? However, if you have bigger portfolio, you can enter in tranches. Enter some in position 1, and then when the market even become very obvious, right, at arrow 2, that's when you enter your second arrow. Can everybody type tranches, right? When you do your investment thing, It's not like, wow, right now it's the sign, the first sign is turning, wow, I 100% go in, something like that. It's always about entering in tranches as well. And same goes to exiting. You also exit in tranches, right? So that you can increase your ROI safely. Now, the thing is, of course, all right, some of you may be wondering, but like I'm using TA already, I'm using EMA. How come it doesn't allow me to catch the bottom, right? Because I believe everyone, if we can, right, we want to catch the bottom. But is it possible for us to catch a bottom? What do you think? Yes or no? Is it possible to catch a bottom? Yeah, it's impossible, right? So why do we still want to use EMA? Because it increases our confidence, and confidence comes to investing. It's everything, right? We want to make sure we increase the probability of us getting right. So right now, nobody can catch a bottom. If you want to enter now, for example, if you want to enter right here, right now you can see in the future, but if you use your hand to block the right hand side, you can't see into the future. If you anyhow enter strategy X, when the market is still very bearish, if it turns, you make a lot of money. But if it doesn't, then you will lose a lot of money from your strategy X. So you never want to catch a falling knife. You only want to enter a strategy X, a bullish strategy, when the market gives you confirmation. Can everybody type confirmation in the chat? So where is the sign of confirmation? This is the first one, and then this is the second one, right? And depending on your portfolio size, you can enter based on 1 or based on 2. And at the end of the day, right, I'd rather you, right, Pete always, like he always say to me, I'd rather you miss out some of the profits, because from here, right, from the bottom all the way until here, right, some people may think, oh, but no, I missed the profit, and that's like close to $30 of profit. But guys, would you rather miss out some profits than seeing your portfolio in losses every single day because the trend continues to go down, right? So it's always about paying for confidence. Can everybody type pay for confidence? It's okay to lose a little bit of profit because you are paying for confidence, right? Just like why people like to hop on one-to-one coaching with Pete. It's also because they want to make sure they are doing the right thing as well, right? So now the same thing, right? So you wait a little bit, you lose out a little bit of profit, it's okay, but at least you are going with confidence. And the second level confidence really comes at arrow number 2. Now, some of you may be thinking, hey, why not this part, right? This part also cross, right? It's true, it's also a cross, but which one is even safer, right? A very, very clear bullishness will be arrow number 2, all right? So once again, depending on your portfolio size, right? You can choose arrow 1, arrow 2. If you have additional bullets, you can even consider entering 3, right? But then, of course, this one is not as confirmed as compared to arrow 2. If this is clear for you, can you type C in the chat? All right, very good. Now, okay, same thing, So just now we talked about entering trenches when the market turned bullish, right? Now, how about when it actually turned bearish, all right, and eventually turned into a bearish market? Now, where is the first sign of trouble, right? For example, you already enter at support strategy X, and then as it climb up, eventually, when the market comes back down, where is the first sign of trouble? Can everybody circle for me? Just point to there, and 3, 2, 1, all right? Is this the same for everyone? If it's the same for you, type S in the chat, all right? S stands for same. Very good, all right? How do we know? Once again, all right, for those who just need a little bit more explanation, your 20 is your red, right? Following very closely to the stock price, and the 50 is the green, right? And that's when your 20 crossed down 50, and that is the first sign of bearishness. And if you want to exit, right, you can consider exiting at circle number 1. Now, if you have multiple bullets, right? Multiple bullets, that means, hey, I'm not just having one option contract, I have multiple. Then you don't need to exit everything here, because sometimes the market can be a fake bear, right? After that, it climbs back up again. You don't want to exit every single thing and miss out all the potential upside. So you exit part of it, exit in tranches. But when the market shows you very confirmed bearishness, right? Where is it? Can everybody also use your finger point out for me? Okay, 3, 2, 1. All right. Is this the same for everyone? Is the same for you? Type me in a chat. Right. And this is where your 200, which is the blue line, it's all the way on top, followed by 50 and followed by your 20. And this is a very bearish sign. So you have not exiting your strategy before that. This second arrow, okay, which is a second circle, will be the right time to exit, right? Because after that, you can see that the bearishness grow even bigger and bigger, right? And the stock market keep on crashing down, right? So that's how you can use EMA to time the market better, exit better, and also enter better as well. Now, the thing is, some of you may be wondering, yes, later on, Jen, we are going to log into TradingView. I'm going to show you how you can plot it, but let's understand this first. Some of you may be wondering, oh, then do I have to look at the market every day, right? Because every day the market price is moving. Okay, guys, let's look at a chart. You let me know, do you have to look at market every day? Let's take a look from bearishness to turning bearishness, all right? From turning bearishness to confirm bearishness. How long does it take? Okay, you can see the first one is about August. And the second one is about September, right? And very confirm bearishness, that means the gap between all these three lines go wider and wider. So you can see that, oh, it's getting so wide, right? That is like October period, right? But even from these to here, it's about, right? It's about like 1 month apart. Right? So that's why we say you don't have to look at the market every day. But is it reasonable for you to do your homework at least once to twice, one time, once every 1 to 2 weeks? Is it reasonable for you? If that's reasonable, right? Can you type R in the chat? Right? So yeah, exactly. If you want to become a great investor, of course, you need to spend some time. Right? But we are not asking you to monitor the market every day. In fact, we don't even encourage you to do that, because if you look at the market and chart moving every day, you will get so emotional, right? You will get so confused, don't know what to do. But once you are clear about the game plan, right? Monitor, build up your watch list. Actually, your watch list and your game plan is the most important. Once you have that set, then once every 1 week or once to 2 weeks, right? Look at the market. Is there any opportunities, right? If there are, start entering, right? If there are not, just wait, right? It's better than doing nothing than trying to force yourself into a trade, right? So if that is clear for you, can you type C in the chat? Right? Yeah, exactly. Debbie said, right? If you every day look at that, you cannot sleep, and that is not called investing already, right? It become like a full-time job. It's not. That's not the point. It's all about building a lifestyle, right, that is sustainable for you, right? And I think using the strategies that we are teaching you right now, it's very sustainable, right? But of course, you still need to spend the effort so that you can become an independent investor within the shortest time possible. Now, one more additional thing, using based on EMA, there's one very, very clear indicator, and that indicator is called golden cross. Okay, can everybody type golden cross in the chat? All right, what is golden cross and how do we use it? Remember, just now we already talked about 20, 50, 200. How do we look at it, right? If you are able to find at one point 20 and 50 cross above, okay, let's talk about above first, above EMA almost together, that is the golden cross. Can everybody point out for me in this American Express, right? Where is that golden cross? Okay, 3, 2, 1. All right, if you found it, can you type me in the chat? Did you find the golden cross? Yes, all right, because that's where your 2050 cross above your 200 together, right? And why do we say that this is a very strong signal? Because it rarely happens. It's more like a shooting star kind of thing, right? But if it does happen, if you observe it, make sure you grab it, because the market usually after golden cross really have a very, very solid bull run, which is what happened in AMAX as well. Now, vice versa, if you observe 20 and 50 cross below 200, almost together, or if even better, together, all right, then that is also called dead cross. Okay, can everybody type dead cross in the chat? So one is like a morning, very, very hopeful, and dead cross means very bearish. Now, where's the dead cross? If you see, for example, USANA, right? One of the stock, right? And you can see right now, your 20 is your red, your 50 is your green, and your 200 is your blue, right? Can you see that your 20 and 50 almost together, coming below 200? And what happened after that? USANA stock price drop. You can see how much, from close to $120 all the way to about $60. As it's close to a 60% drop. So it's a very bearish sign. In fact, during one of the coaching call, Pete actually did together with one of the mentee, and the mentee, right, he was actually pretty heavily invested in USANA, right? Why so? Once again, it's always boils back to circle of competence. He himself, right, is a user of USANA, right? What does it do? It's an MLM company, right? Sells like healthcare products and all this, right? So he consumed USANA, and on top of that, he also helped to promote USANA. He's very, very bullish about this business. And in fact, if you look at the financial statement and everything, it is a very good company, right? But then during the coaching call, Pete realized that, okay, the bearishness is coming, right? Because it's a very, very clear dead cross. And that's why he said, hey, you might want to take out some of your profits from this, because it's already a dead cross. If you don't take out, very likely the market, the USANA can continue to go down, and then your profits will be wiped out, right? Why not take out profits right now, and later on, when the trend become clear again, enter one more time if you still have confidence in the business, right? And the mentee hit the advice. Luckily, if not, can you see that it crossed almost 50%, right? It came down, right? So now, right now, okay, if you were to enter again, which the mentee actually decided to enter again, right? Because he still believes in the business. Where do you think he should enter one more time after selling off his position? Where do you think he should enter? Can everybody point out for me? Okay, I'm going to draw 3, 2, 1. All right, do you got it? Is it the same? If it's the same for you, type S in the chat. All right, why will he want to choose to enter again during the cross, during the circle? It's because, can you see, this is turning bullish again, right? 20 cross above 50. And because the mentee portfolio size is pretty big, he can afford to take on slightly more risk. When 20 cross 50, he enter. And then eventually, okay, when the market turns again, when 50 also cross above 200, that's when he can enter another more positions. All right. Okay, is this understandable for everybody? If it's understandable for you, can you type U in the chat? That's how you can use EMA, all right, to enter and exit as well better. Now, one more very important thing and very useful about EMA is it can also act as support and resistance. Right? Remember yesterday, we learned how to draw, right? But right now, okay, let's use EMA to further increase, all right, our understanding towards support and resistance. So can everybody tell me in this chart, right, your 200 EMA, what is the color? What is the color of 200 EMA? Okay, most of you get it right. 200 EMA is the furthest away from the stock price, right? So it's your red line, all right? Can you see? It's very far. The stock price is here. The red line is here. And that's why this is your 200 EMA. Now, can everybody tell me, now at 200 EMA, is this acting as a support or resistance? S or R? S or R? The stop price is here, right? You can see the stop price is here, right? Support or resistance? It is resistance. Why? Okay, can you see that? Whenever, okay, the stop price climb, trying to cross above 200, right? Come down, right? And then trying to cross above 200, I managed to cross above, but then eventually come back down again. And right now, trying to test the 200 EMA again. So this is like a ceiling. Whenever the ball touches, bounce back. Touches, bounce back, right? And I mean, like comes back down, right? And that's why it's a ceiling, it's a resistance, right? And vice versa. When it can be a resistance, it can also be a support. So how about right now, all right? Your 20, 50, 200 EMA, right? Can you see over here? Is this at support or is this at resistance? It is as support right now, all right? Because whenever it touches, bounce back, touches, bounce back, right? So that is why you can actually use to EMA to see whether is it at support and resistance right now, and make an intelligent deduction, all right, out of 20, 50, 200, right? Which one do you think will give you the strongest form of support or the strongest form of resistance? 20, 50, or 200? Which one do you think? Exactly, it is your 200. Why? Because you have 200 period of data. That means it's very, very stable, right? Very strong. So if it's acting as a support, this support is stronger than 50 EMA. It's also stronger than 20 EMA. But if it's acting as a resistance, this is also the strongest form of resistance. Now, of course, we all know that no indicator, no technical analysis can help you to time 100%, right? So there's also weakness behind EMA, which you have seen it actually lag behind prices. You can see that the prices move back down first before the 20 and the 50 actually follow through, right? And that's why we always want to combine what we have learned so far together to give us higher advantage, which is want to combine with what we learned yesterday, how to draw your own support and resistance. And we want to observe, are there any coincide points between what you learn, which is a support resistance that you learn to draw, with the 200 and the 3 EMA that we just learned. So let's see, for example, this chart, once again, using AMAX, you can draw out your support and resistance, right? For example, this is the resistance point, right? Can you see high, high, high? You just plot multiple high points together. Okay, roughly, I'm not using ruler. Okay, not very, very but that now, can you see this is the resistance? Okay, you can see that. Can you type R in the chat? Right, so this is what we learn, how to draw resistance line, right? Then where's the support line? Once again, you try to point multiple the support points together, right? And then you can also form one more line, right? Okay, so form one more line. This is your support line. Now, where do we mean by coincide? Can you see over here, for example, here, right? This point, this is a coincide between the support line that we learned to draw plus your 50 EMA, because that is your green, right? Green line is your 50 EMA, right? So can you see it lifted off from there? So this point is a very strong support point because not only is your own support, but it also coincides with the 50 EMA. If you can see it, can you type C in the chat? All right, same thing right now. Okay, so can you see over here as well, over here? Okay, so okay, this is a support point. Okay, this is a resistance point. So is any coincide, vice versa, if it's a bearish market, if you can find coincide of your resistance line with either 20, 50, 200, then the resistance becomes stronger as well. So later on, we are going to look at some chart to see more points, okay? So the thing is, all right, when to use EMA? It's most useful when you can see a trend clearly. For example, uptrend or downtrend. So during sideways, it's not as useful. Can everybody type uptrend, downtrend? So it's most useful during a clear trend like this, all right? And then secondly, like I mentioned earlier, it will be stronger if it coincides with the support and resistance line that we learned to draw yesterday. Now, always remember when you do technical analysis, right? We always want to trade with trend. So you want to do bullish strategy when it's a clear uptrend, and you don't want to do bullish strategy in a downtrend because you're not going to get yourself into a falling knife, right? That's very dangerous. And you want to sell instead during a downtrend. So always remember, trade with trend. Can everybody type TWT in the chat? TW stands for trade with trend. Now, for example, here, when you learn technical analysis already, right? Okay, for example, Henry, he asks, hey, sometimes because you enter strategy X, right? So this is where, right? He is asking, should I take profit already, right? Because it's strategy X, and you can see that actually he made quite a lot of profit. How much? More than 10K. You can see P&L open is more than 10K, right? So he's pretty happy with the profits. If you were in Henry's shoes, what should you do first? Before thinking about whether should you take profits or not, what should you do? What should you do? Henry, that's not me. So cute. All right. Very good. Check the trend. Check the TA. All right. Don't base on emotions, or don't base on, oh, because I make quite a lot of money already, I want to take profits, okay? It's not based on emotions, it's always based on proper game plan. So this game plan is based on your entry and your exit based on the TA we just learned, right? So that's why when Henry asked Pete, Pete immediately asked him, okay, so have you checked the trend, right? What does the TA say? And then Henry said, oh, oops, sorry, didn't think. Okay, more like thinking of taking profit old school. So once again, all right, whatever you learn, you need to apply, right? Can everybody type apply in the chat, right? If you sometimes forgot, right? Or either you learn, but then you end up, trying to be emotional and all this, right? Or if you can, right, always have the second person to point you back, right? Then you are really going to the right direction rather than investing based on emotions. So now, okay, let's set up trading view together and let's watch me first. Can everybody type focus? Okay, watch my screen first because later on I'm also going to give you time to do your own setup. But at least you watch me, you know what to do later. So right now, okay, I'm going to trading view. Okay, hold on, give me a while. Let me open up my trading view. Okay, right. Now, once you open up trading view, right, you will see that now it's empty. There's nothing. How can we add our 3 EMA just now? Now, let's take a look. Very simple. Over here, on your top corner bar, there's this place called indicators. Can everybody help me type indicators in the chat? All right. So you click it once, click. And then after that, can you see over here, there's a search bar, right? You search for 3 EMA. Right? Can everybody help me to type 3 EMA in the chat? All right, because immediately the 3 EMA will be plotted out for you, right? 3 EMA. And then after that, search for this person called Victor Grego, okay? Victor Grego is the person who created this 3 EMA. So can everybody help me type down his name? Victor Grego in the chat, all right? But don't click his name. Instead, move to your left-hand side and just click the 3 EMA because after all, we are looking for 3 EMA, not looking for Victor Grego. Okay, so click 3 EMA by Victor Grego and then click. And immediately, can you see just now there was nothing here and it has been added, right? 3 EMA has been added. So that's why you can now close, okay? Close this tab. Okay, let me just close it, just cross it. And the 3 lines have been plotted. But you can see that the 3 lines look very different from what we wanted it to look like. And that's why we need to change the setting. So how do we change the setting? Over here, you mouse over to the 3 EMA that you just added, right? Can you see right now there are a few icons here? I want you to look at this. This is like a toolbox, right? Basically, it's a setting box, right? So can everybody type settings in the chat? All right, you click it once, all right? And ta-da, there is another pop-up immediately. Now, okay, before we change the style, I want you to go to inputs first. Can everybody type inputs? All right, so when you go to inputs, this is where you can change to 20, 50, and 200. So now change to 20, 50, and 200. Okay, once you're done with the inputs and change it, go to style. Okay, can everybody type style in the chat? All right, so click style. This is where we want to use the traffic light system, easier to see. All right, so the first one is your 20. We will use green, all right, because it's very nimble. It's like fast track traffic light can go, all right, 20. Now, second one, amber, use orange, right? And last one, the red, use 200, right? So 200 represents the red. So traffic light system set up. Now press OK. And ta-da, you can see immediately, all right, it has been plotted out for you. So now let's take a look at the current market. Okay, you can see that once again, this is using S&P 500, right, which is a US stock market, right? So of course, if you go to long term, it's always like long term is uptrend, right? Okay, but recently we also know that since the beginning of the year, right, if you go back to your 1 year chart, it has been coming down and down and down, right? So can everybody look at the current trend right now and tell me, is it bullish? Is it bearish? Is it turning bullish or turning bearish? Okay, we learned 4. Which one? Which trend are we at right now? Yes, it is bearish. All right. Why? Because 20 it's the 20 kg child at the bottom, 50 kg women in the middle, and 200 sumo right on top, the red line, right? And so it's a very bearish condition. And that is why this is not the best time to use strategy X, right? Because you do not want to catch a falling knife like this. Okay, this is just the overall market condition, right? When you are looking at individual stocks, you also need to do this analysis for yourself as well. So different strategies are suitable for different market condition, right? There's no one size fit all, say, wow, now must use this, or which one is the best strategy. It depends, right? So you need to monitor. Now, the thing is it true that, hey, that means right now we cannot enter, so what can we do, right? There are definitely different strategies to use it, and that's why later on, after this technical analysis segment, we are also going to cover valuation, and then we are going to invite Bowen to teach you the final strategy, which is strategy Y, that is suitable for a bearish market like this. All right, so can everybody type bearish in the chat? Okay, so make sure right now, okay, do not do not go and anyhow use strategy X. Okay, be very, very selective. You only want to do it when it's very bullish. Now, but some of you may be wondering, okay, then Chloe, then why are you guys so excited? Because, you know, if you remember, Pete, Bowen, and I are super excited, right, about this current market condition. If it's a bearish market, why are we so excited? Guys, all right, remember, bear market will not last forever. Agree? Right? In fact, if you look at historical trend, most of the time, 80% of the time, the market is going up or down. Most of the time it's going up. If you just look at the chart, right, zoom back to your 5-year, right, you just go back in time, it's going up most of the time. So right now we are during the minority period, which rarely happens. But once you are able to capture this minority period and really take advantage, right, when a bull returns, this is when really you can accelerate into, be it you are right now 5-figure, you want to accelerate into 6-figure, or right now you are 6-figure, you want to accelerate into $1 million portfolio. It's so much faster. Why do I say that? Okay, let's just look at the most recent crash, right? The most recent crash is here, which is during our 2020, right? Okay, I'm just zoom back to the 1 year and slightly longer, so it's easier to see, right? So you can see, right? This is the 2020 crash. How do we know it's a crash, right? Because if you zoom in, this is where what is happening as if it's happening right now, right? It's very bearish, right? Your 200 is on top, 50 in the middle, and 20 all the way at the bottom. So this is a very, very clear bear market, right? But guys, can you point out for me, where is the beginning of the turn? That means start to turn bullish, turn bullish. Where is it? Okay, I'm going to draw out for you as well. Point out 3, 2, 1. Okay, is it the same for everyone? If the same for you, type S in the chat. Right, can observe, right? Now, where is a very confirmed bullishness, not just turning up, but confirm. Where is it? Okay, point out for me. So I'm going to draw one more time. 3, 2, 1. Now, is this clear for everyone? If this the second one also the same, can you type 2 in the chat? That means your second circle also the same thing as me. Very good. Now let's take a look from turn, or even from the confirmed bullishness all the way until now, right? Because a lot of people think, wow, right now, you know, the stock market has dropped so much, right? But if you start investing during a very, very scary time, during that period of time, 2020 was very scary for many people. Very few people dare to invest, right? But if you start investing with the right form of guidance, right, you can see it just keep on climbing up, right? And where is the turning bearishness? Over here, right? Can you see that? If you can see that, can you type me in the chat? That's when your 20s start to cross below 50. How much has it gone up? If you have tranches, you have entered tranches as according to what we are learning right now. Let's take a look. From here, which is the first turn of bullishness, right, all the way to the first turn of bearishness, it has gone up more than 60%. Guys, who don't mind having a 60% upside in your portfolio? If you don't mind, right, can you type 60% in the chat? Right? And this is just using very simple indicators that we are learning right now using EMA, right? And if you capture it, do it right, That's how your 60% is just on stocks, not to talk about options, which is strategy X. And that's how Hardy, Kevin Kong, they accelerated because they really captured this bull market very, very well, right? Let's say you did not dare to enter during the first turn of bullishness because you have smaller portfolio, you want to enter with more confidence. You enter here, right? That is where a very, very clear bullishness actually comes in, right? Even until then, it's 56%, right? And if you did not manage to exit in time when the bearishness come, let's say you really exit during the bear, right? That means it's a very confirmed bearishness, which is here, right? You will have exited. So where is it? Let me see. The chart getting so big I cannot draw. Okay, here, right? Okay, can you see? Even though you did not manage to exit, but you exit here during the bearishness, right? Over here, this point, right? If you can see this point, right? Can you type me in the chat? Which is your 2050 both cross below 200. It's also a 50% gain, right? Just on the stock alone, right? And you know, using strategy X is easily a multiple times of what you are making from stock price gain itself, right? And that's why we are so excited about this opportunity because it seldom comes. If you miss it, right? Usually it takes about 7 to 10 years to even wait for a great drop like this, right? Because 2020, we had this drop, right? Previously, a very significant drop, all right? Over here to here, it's about 20%. Just nice, it's the beginning of the bear market, right? But from then, all right, you can see all the way going back down, right? That is actually back to the 2008, right? If you did not capture the crisis now, I don't know how long are you going to wait before the next crisis actually come, right? But having said that, I understand it could be very scary because if you invest during a crisis, every day, if you don't do it right, then you can see the portfolio in red, right? But if you just have the patience and you do it right, carry it through, right? Remember what Pete said, you survive this crisis and you, of course, take action and seize the opportunity given by the crisis, right? That's how Warren Buffett, even though that 1 year, his portfolio dropped by 50%. Remember, 50%. But then after that, 1 year later, his portfolio gained 100%. And 10 years later, his portfolio gained 100x. Right? So once again, can everybody type long-term, think long-term, and really start taking action, right? Because it's very rare that you are given this opportunity. If you miss it, maybe the next time is 10 years later. But how many 10 years do we have in our life, right? You really want to make sure you grab this opportunity. All right? So right now, okay, we are going to have an exercise break. So during this exercise break, I want you to plot out, all right, your 250 as well as your 100 EMA, all right, inside TradingView. And most importantly, I want you to look at two different stocks as well, okay? Not just looking at the market just now, but how about individual stocks? How do we analyze it? How do we know, should we enter based on what strategies, all right? And later on, we are going to call for hot seat as well. So do two stocks, one HSY, which is Hershey, we looked at it yesterday, and one more, Google, right? Because everybody uses Google. It's a wonderful company. So right now it's 1:51. I give you guys about 10 minutes. Be back by 2 o'clock. Can everybody type 2 p.m. in the chat, right? Be back by 2 p.m. And later on, we are going to call for hot set. And let's take a look at two more companies together. All right. So see you guys in 9 minutes time. Let's go for a practice break. See you. All right, guys, welcome back. Who have already done out the setup for yourself? You have done, can you type me in the chat? All right, that means you have set up the 3 EMA accordingly and color code them. So type me, let me know if you are ready. All right, very good. Yes, okay, this is a free version for the trading view. You don't have to pay for the premium version. All right, very good. Now, okay, let me demonstrate the first one first. And after that, we will call for the hot seat for the second stop. Okay, so let me demonstrate Hershey, since we talked about Hershey yesterday, right? And just now, some of you are also a little bit unsure, what do I mean by coin inside? So if you plotted in your Hershey 200 EMA, 50 and 200, 20, 50, 200, right? You will see that long term, actually Hershey has been going up. It's a very, very beautiful company. Up, right? And that's why after that, okay, this is something that you plotted out immediately. But then you also need to add in your support and resistance that you learned to draw yesterday. So based on the support and resistance, these two blue lines, as I plotted it up. Now let's take a look. If you zoom in a little bit more, right? Are there any points that looks to you that it looks like a coin inside? All right. So guys, can you see that, for example, right? Even right now, right? It's very close. Right? If you can see that it's very close and can see the coin inside, right? Can you type C in the chat? Because, okay, not 100% like, oh, must touch each other, that means coin inside. No, but it's almost there. Because the price that the 20 and 50 EMA is very close to the support line, which is the blue line, right? That we plotted out, right? So this point of support, it's stronger, right, as compared to somewhere without any coin size. So in this case, okay, actually Hershey does look very bullish. At least the bullish trend is still intact. So if it's bullish trend that is intact, what kind of strategy should you be implementing? Okay, what kind of strategy should you be implementing? Bullish, bullish. What type of strategy? Yes, all right, you can choose strategy X. How about BOSS? Is it possible to do BOSS as well? If you think so, type boss. Yeah, you can choose to do that. But once again, the objective is different. When you do BOSS, that means you don't mind collecting the shares. So if you need to collect shares, let's say we sell a put at $220, how much do you need to set aside to do sell put BOSS? You need how much? You need $22,000. Very good. On the other hand, all right, if you are more bullish towards the uptrend and you are not looking for income, right, because BOSS, you get premium, right, that's where income. You're looking for growth, all right, and your portfolio, you want it to be using a smaller sum, right, that's when you can consider strategy X, because strategy X, instead of $22,000, it's just a few $1,000s. If you still remember strategy X yesterday, a few $1,000, but then there is upside. Now, let's take a look. If, for example, right, let's use strategy X as a scenario, right? Let's say you enter here, right? And then after that, the stock price move up until here. All right, guys, over here, right? What can you do? What can you do over here? This is at resistance already. So what can you do? What can you do? Very good. You can choose to close your strategy X, right? Because support you buy, resistance that you sell, you already profited pretty handsomely, all right? You want to do that so that you can get in and then get out. You have the frequency, you have more practice, and with practice, with more guidance, that's how you improve as well. But let's say you did not choose to do strategy, you choose not to close your strategy X here. What else can you do? What else can we do? This morning, what did we learn? Exactly, all right. You can choose to do X plus, right? Because remember, you have a strategy X, and then you can do a sell call, which is what we learned this morning from Pete, right? Do a sell call to do X plus to collect more premium, right? And that's how over a long period of time, which Hershey has been a very, very stable stocks as well, right? Remember, X plus used on stable stocks. That's how you can choose to collect premium and bring down your buy call price, right? You bring down your buy call price, and if it become a free buy call for you, that's even better, right? This is considered stable uptrend, right? And then later on, after that, we are going to learn valuation as well. So learning valuation will give you another layer of safety, right? Is this the right price to buy right now? Okay, because if the valuation is good, that means it's very cheap to buy. It gives you more confidence to enter bullish strategy. All right, if you understand what I mean, can you type V in the chat? V stands for valuation, which we are going to look at it very soon. All right, so right now, okay, before we talk about valuation, let's go to another stock, which is Google, right? So who has done Google and you want to go through hot seat with me? Can you type HS in the chat? Type HS, and then we are going to select one person to jump in the hot seat together and look at Google, all right? Because Google is also very interesting right now. All right, so let me see. All right, so if you are ready, type HS so that I can pick some of you. Wow, I see a lot of very active names. Sometimes I always have this tendency. I want to pick people who are very active. Okay, very good. Okay, why not? I pick Eugene. Okay, Eugene has been very active since day one. Okay, and I don't think we have called him for hot seat yet. So can our team member help to spotlight Eugene as well? Okay. Eugene, if you are ready, can you come here and then also unmute yourself so that I can see you and hear you, okay? Eugene Cho, okay? Is Eugene here? Eugene Cho, CHOW. Eugene Cho. Yes. Okay, Eugene, are you able to unmute yourself? I asked you to unmute. If you can just click that unmute button.
Hello.
Yes, hi Eugene, good to see you. All right, are you able to share screen on your?
Now still disabled.
Okay.
Trying.
Can my team member enable Eugene to share his screen so that we can look at Google chart together that he drew? Right? Maybe you can try one more time. Are you able to share right now? Okay, very good. I can see that it's going to share very soon. All right. So right now, okay, while we are waiting for Eugene's screen to unshare, okay, maybe I can also ask Eugene a little bit of question. Eugene, have you been investing?
Yes, on and off been investing,
Okay.
mainly equities. I actually invested through COVID. I thought I was very clever, made a lot of money because everything I invest also make money. And in this year, everything lose and give back already.
I see. So it's like you make a lot of profit, but then you didn't manage to keep your profits. Is that what you mean?
Correct. Yes.
I see. Okay. I think most importantly, like now you learn and you also learn better when to enter and exit the market, right? And with the right guidance, you will be able to do much better from now on. All right.
Yes.
So now let's take a look at your chart, okay? Because I'm seeing your screen right now. Can you also draw out like your support and resistance, right? So that we can see it better as well. Right now, I can see that your screen is very being squeezed to the left-hand side. Are you able to make it big? Am I being lagging right now, or is Eugene lagging?
What do you see?
Because right now, right, I can only see your chart very squeezed. You need to expand it. All right. If not, right? Okay, why not, Eugene? I share my screen and then you tell me what do you see right now, okay? So I'm going to override your share screen and let's go to GOOG Google, yeah? So firstly, okay, we can see that, of course, long-term Google is a wonderful company, right? If you look at 5-year chart, of course, it's been going up, but then lately, it's coming down, right? So let's take a look at 1-year chart, right? So right now, okay, based on what we learned yesterday, which is to draw the support and resistance, this is what I draw, okay? So do you see the similar pattern for yourself as well, that this is the peak and I plot all the peak together and then I plot all the support points together? This is a downtrend right now. Do you see it? If you can see it, let me know. You can see it, right? And in the meantime, can you also let me know, based on the 3 EMA that we learned just now, what kind of trend is this?
So now it's a clear downtrend.
It's a clear downtrend, right? Which is a bearish trend, because your 200 on top, which is your red, 50 in the middle, and then 20 at the bottom, right? So is everybody seeing it? If you can see it, can you type me in the chat, right? It's a downtrend. So Eugene, what do you think? If it's a downtrend, right, what kind of strategy do you think you can enter?
So we will not do X plus.
Yep. Will you
Mm,
do X? Will you do strategy X?
I'll probably do BOSS lah, actually.
Okay. Can you tell me the rationale? Why do you want to do BOSS?
Well, because market is bearish. I want to, I mean, this is a good company.
Yep.
So I just want to collect premium while waiting
Okay.
for opportunities to deploy
Okay.
other strategies.
So if the market continue to drop some more, you may get to really have to buy the shares. Are you okay
Correct,
with
yeah.
that?
Yes. So it's a good company. I mean, at Google, if I do BOSS and I collect the shares, I think I'll be happy lah.
Yes, very good. I think that is a very good mindset. Can everybody type CCC for Eugene? Because that is the right mindset. Because a lot of time people say, oh, I want to do BOSS just for the premium. But then if they get the shares, they are not happy, right? Then that is not the right approach in the first place. But then I can see that you have the right mindset and you did say that because it's a good company and right now it has dropped to a good price and that's why you are willing to buy the shares. Most importantly, as long as you have the capital, then you can actually execute BOSS option strategy. So I think it's a very, very good reminder to all our students here. Doesn't mean that during a downtrend, we cannot do BOSS option strategy because once again, it's your objective, right? Can everybody type objective in the chat? Because Eugene's objective is he doesn't mind collecting good company at a good price, right? And he's willing to hold on to the company long term. Then it's suitable for him to do BOSS, right? Very good, right? And right now, definitely not the right time to do strategy X because it's still very bearish. And if you want to do strategy X, when do you think you can start considering strategy X?
Well, first of all, when we look using the 3EMA, if the green starts to cross over and show a turning bullish signal, then that's where I may start to consider
Very
looking
good.
at deploying X.
Exactly. All right. Especially let's say you have multiple bullets to shoot, then you can consider entering first one. And then when it's more confirmed, you can enter in the second one as well. Very good. All right. So for yourself, right, for the past 2 years, even though the profits did not manage to keep, but I think it's a good experience. It's also very good that you choose to continue your learning journey. And once again, it's a lifelong journey, right? Once you equip the right skill set, now, right, this market condition, you seize it right, you are able to definitely accelerate way faster as well.
Correct.
So do you have any question? One question for me.
So I understand we are going for a few strategies here. So for me, my current situation is very interesting. I actually had a few, some of you all may know the notes where I got knocked into things like Baba, Meta, which is deeply in loss. So I wanted to come in, one of the key things, because I went to Sean's the online training already. And I need to go and bring in the shares to sell call because I need to make a premium. If I sit there and wait, it will take 2, 3, 5 years to recover. So I'm doing nothing. So I thought I needed to sell premiums to make some money. And maybe even, if you have a chance to go into mentoring and meet with Pete, how can I accelerate that? Rather than just regret what I did. I don't want to regret. I think it's time to reconsolidate and just move forward.
I think very good. I think you have already know what is the right thing for you to do from now on, rather than just keep on sitting and then waiting and hoping that eventually it will bounce back. It's also good that you already have this mentality that you are willing to do the necessary action to kind of have to kind of reset it a little bit. I think the companies you're investing in are still definitely good businesses, but at the end of the day, there are probably ways to optimize it better. But because right now I can't really see your portfolio, it's best to really, when you do the one-to-one consultation together, let's say if you are accepted with a mentor, let's say Pete, he will be able to really advise you better based on that time, the market situation, what is your portfolio allocation, what is your portfolio size. He will look at many different things before giving you a better advice for you as well.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So thank you so much, Eugene, for coming
Chloe.
on.
Thank
all
you.
right. Can everybody type CCC, cap for Eugene. All right. And right now, okay, let's continue our learning further. All right. Because just now, right, if you still remember what Eugene said, right, it's really about very important that you need to keep going, right? Do not just stop there and continue learning as well. But I know sometimes people very new, like some of you are very new. How many of you think that, wow, you know, like it can be quite difficult. Sometimes like even just plotting the chart can be slightly different from Chloe, or when I look at different option strategy, I'm a little bit not very sure. Who think that it's a little bit difficult? If you think it's a little bit difficult, right, type D in the chat. Right? How many of you think that, oh, by investing, it's a little bit difficult, right? Which I can understand because I was once a beginner as well. I also think last time as I learned, especially at the initial stage, so many information, it's indeed difficult. But if I were to ask you another question, right? If today, if you're given a choice, right, would you like to acquire a high income skill set or a low income skill set? You want high or low, right? To generate income for yourself, you want high or low, right? Of course, we want a high income skill set, right? That's how we are able to generate high income. So let's take a look at the following two occupations. Which one do you think it's a higher income skill set? Is it being a doctor or being a delivery man? If you think it's doctor, right, type D-O. If you think delivery man, type D-E, right? Which one is a higher income skill set? Definitely it's doctor, right? But guys, do you agree that to become a doctor, it's way more difficult than becoming a delivery man? I'm not saying that being a delivery man is no good, right? We all need this kind of like workforce, right? This kind of job so that the economy has different aspects, right? However, we also know that becoming a doctor is way more difficult. But do you see that exactly because it's way more difficult, it's a higher income skill set? Right? And that's why people are willing to pay a lot of money to go for doctorate school, right? They go for school education for many years before becoming a doctor. And right now, because once they get the degree, they become a practitioner, they are able to generate very high income, right, for themselves. So the same thing when it comes to investing, right? If it's not difficult, if it's so easy, right, then every single person, like random person, uncle, auntie on the street can also be a good investor, right? But the thing is, we also know that it's not true, right? So in order to become a great investor, you must go through the journey. That means you must be willing to really work on yourself and acquire this skill set. Because once you acquire this skill set, eventually, all right, you are able to generate high income skill set for yourself. Right? It's just like driving. The first time that you drive, all right? How many of you also feel that first time you drive also quite difficult? If you also feel that, can you type me in the chat, right? I remember the first time I was sitting in the car, I felt so difficult, right? Because I need to do so many things at the same time. And that's why when we first learn driving, right, we always have a coach sitting beside us, you know, in case anything goes wrong, wow, the coach can also like stir us back to the right track, right? The same thing goes to investing as well. If it's something that's difficult for you, but the thing is, if you keep on going, right, with the right guidance, eventually the driving instructor at first need to handhold you, eventually just need to sit beside you to observe, you are doing the right thing, keep going. And eventually when you pass, you don't need the instructor to be sitting you beside you anymore. It becomes a second nature for you. So how do we make difficult things eventually become difficult? It's really about practicing. Can everybody type practice in the chat? Right, keep on practicing, but of course have to make sure you're practicing the right habit, right? If you keep on practicing bad habits, bad driving also can become very, very, right, very dangerous, right? So always make sure you practice on the right thing, become a good driver, become a good investor, and keep on going this journey. That's how you accelerate your journey, right, to your own version of financial freedom, right? So you always want to make sure you always combine technical analysis, what we learn, with fundamental analysis, right? Always make sure you do it on good stocks, because if you do it on lousy company, no matter how accurate your TA is, you are also like gambling, and we do not want to gamble, we want to invest. Right? So at the end of the day, when you combine FA and TA, can everybody type FATA in the chat? You will realize FATA stands for 发达, all right? So in Chinese, it means prosperity, right? It means like you're going to prosper, right? When you combine these two. But most importantly, you also have to understand you need to protect yourself against your own ignorance, because Sometimes we do occasionally receive like SOS email from OMI graduate, right? For example, from this student, right? OMI April batch 2020, right? We all know 2020 is such a good year to start investing. But if you do not combine FA and TA with the right guidance and you anyhow do, which many people out there, they can be very greedy, very emotional, and they start to do many different fanciful things, right? For example, bull puts vertical, right? It's an option strategy, right? That we also know how to do. But why we do not want to teach this is because it's very fanciful, but it's not effective. And if you don't do it right, end up what happened to this student is right now, this is called margin call, right? Remember, Hadi said the last call he wants to receive, right, is margin call because it's so dangerous. And the thing is, this student doesn't even have the money to cover the 200 shares. So you do not want to get yourself into this kind of trouble. Be very, very selective of the environment. Be very selective in terms of the guidance that you're receiving so that you are on the right track. All right. Can everybody type selective in the chat? Be very selective, right? Because if you have a proper feedback loop, for example, right? Sometimes our mentee, right? When they came in, they already start investing because they already have an existing portfolio that are not doing well. They want a rescue. And luckily, right? For example, this student, our mentor, right, Joe, said, I just finished an emergency call with a mentee, right? We do not want to do emergency call, but sometimes there are certain mentees that really require that. And we realized he's in negative $82,000 in margin, right? And he did not know what to do. And luckily, Joe quickly jumped on a call with him, helped him to salvage his portfolio, and eventually make it back to a positive 5K cash and sweep. So that's how he's no longer in margin. He's no longer in a dangerous position. Because remember, when it comes to a bear market like this, most importantly is you need to survive through the market. Only when you survive through, like Warren Buffett, that's how after that, his portfolio start to accelerate. So make sure you don't do silly things. If you ever do silly things, make sure you always have a person to really point you back to the right track. And that's how you're going to continue in this journey. And that's how you're going to accelerate as well. All right. So right now, let's go into valuation. Can everybody type valuation in the chat? Because this is a super crucial investment point that you must to understand. If not, even though you buy good businesses, you buy them too overvalued, they can also come down in prices, right? And you end up seeing portfolio in red. You do not want that to happen. So always make sure you apply valuation. How do we know is this a safe price, a good price to buy? And there are many valuation metrics out there, but right now we're going to teach you one of the most widely used valuation metrics that even professional fund managers are also using so that you can have an understanding, right? How are they looking at it? What is the valuation based on the sensing of the market and enter based on that to increase your safety? And that is none other than PE ratio. Can everybody type PE in the chat? All right. What does PE ratio actually stands for? P stands for the price of the stock. All right. That's why it's share price. E, all right. E stands for earnings per share. Right? So what's earnings per share? Because if it's a profitable company, that means you are able to see profit for this company, right? If you divide the profit by the number of shares outstanding in the market of this company, you are able to see, all right, how much is this company earning every single share. And that's why it's called earnings per share. And if you divide the price by the EPS, you will be able to find out the PE ratio. So the thing is, why do we look at PE ratio and how do we use it? All right, because when you're looking at PE ratio, remember, use the price, the stock price, divide by the earnings of the company, right? Earnings per share. It tells you how many times is the market willing to pay to buy this company for its earning per share, earning capability, right? If the market is willing to pay a lot, that means the PE ratio is very high, let's say 50 times. That means this market, they are very bullish on this company. They think that, oh, even though I'm paying a lot right now, right? Maybe eventually these earnings, right, of the company will continue to improve and improve and improve. And that's how eventually they are going to break even, right? So that's why they're willing to pay a high PE ratio. On the other hand, if they think that this sector or this industry or this company is not going to be making a lot of money, the profits are not going to grow a lot, they are not willing to pay a lot of times, right, to buy this company, right? Very common sense. So the thing is, because different sector, have different nature, right? You can't compare a P ratio of a tech company to a bank, right? Because they're totally different nature business. And that's why we always want to make sure we compare apple to apple once again. So how do we compare? You want to compare the P ratio of the company right now versus 5-year average of the P ratio. Can everybody type versus 5-year? So what does that mean? So if you can see the 5-year average of this company's PE ratio, that means you are able to see for the past 5 years, how many times is the market willing to pay to buy this company, right? If in general, the market is willing to pay 20 times, but right now, compared to the current PE ratio, let's say 10 times, because the price drops so much, right? The price drops so much, and yet the company, the earnings are still good. Then you will see the PE ratio start to drop a lot. Let's say right now, current PE ratio is 10. So that means potentially you are really buying at a very good bargain, because in the past, people pay 20 times to buy this company. Right now, you only need to pay 10 times. So you want to make sure you look for this kind of bargain for yourself to lower your risk even further. Now, how do we know P ratio? You don't have to do calculation. Everything is already inside this website called Morningstar, which later on I'm going to show you how can you find. But firstly, let's look at Google, right? Just now we use Google as a demonstration, right? And Eugene said it's a good company, right? And right now also at a good valuation. How do we know? Look at this, guys. Right now, the PE ratio, which is here, price to earnings, right, of Google, it's about 18 times. But in the past, people are paying 32 times to buy Google. So can you tell me right now, is this undervalue or overvalue? U or O? U or O? Yeah, it's cheap. Right, cheaper than how much you need to pay in the past to buy Google. Right now, it's so much cheaper, almost 50% discount. Right, and that's why we say, when it comes to investing, right, if you don't have to do options all the time. Right, if you are not comfortable selling a put on Google because the portfolio will be like your portfolio size cannot afford it, buy shares. Right, you buy shares, you can also start investing. And the beauty of investing in US stock market is you can buy how many shares? Minimum start with how many? Anybody know? Yeah, you can even start with one, right? And of course, I'm not saying that you only start investing with $100, which right now Google is about $100, but literally you can start with investing with $100, right? But of course, I highly encourage you to start investing more, right? Because only when you have a bigger amount of money, and then let's say you generate a 10% return out of a 100K portfolio, right? 10% return, 100K is how much? 10K, right? And if you only start with a smaller portfolio, let's say 1K, you 10%, you only make how much? You only make $100, right, guys? So which one will you want to make? You want to make 10K, you want to make $100, right? So it all boils down to, it's the same ROI, same 10%, right? But it's a portfolio size that is different. So that is why if you can start with a bigger portfolio, it's always advisable to do that. But of course, it's especially when you start with a bigger portfolio, do it right. Because if you don't do it right, let's say a 20% drop, a 20% drop of 100K, it's already 20K. Right? So it's always relative, right? So if you want to start with a bigger portfolio, do it right? So that you are really growing it well, right? So Google, it's a good valuation right now. So where is this website? This website is called Morningstar, all right? So let me share screen for you and let's go into Morningstar together. Right over here. So just now we were at TradingView. Right now we changed to another website called www.morningstar.com. Right? In the morning, the stars come out. It's called Morningstar. So this website, you can also go and create a free account. Right? It's completely free. Now, after you go into this website, all you need to do next is to search for Google. So G-O-O-G at the search bar on your left. All right. And can you see, right? The stocks comes out. You just click it, right? Once you click, all you need to do next is to go to this tab called valuation. Can everybody type valuation for me? All right, valuation here, right? And now scroll, remember the P ratio is here, right? Scroll to the right. Can you see? Current versus 5 year. And current is 17.9 versus 32.5. Right? And that's how you are able to find Google. Now, since we have a little bit more time before inviting Bowen to come back to teach strategy why, let's do one more practice together, okay? Can everybody do this company called Meta, all right? I'm going to give you 1 minute right now. Everybody go to morningstar.com, all right? Morningstar.com and search for Meta, all right? Now, once you're done, click it. All right, and tell me, okay, I'm not going to show you the answer right now, okay, tell me, is this undervalue or overvalue? All right, wow, so fast, you guys so fast, I don't even need 1 minute. Okay, let's see, okay, where can you find it? Once again, under Morningstar, you find Meta already over here. Now go to this tab called valuation, right, valuation, click it. And then after that, okay, zoom out a little bit so that I can see PE ratios, right? So can everybody tell me what is the current PE ratio of Meta? For those who have already found, what's the current PE ratio? Current. That means right now, if you buy Meta right now, what is number of times you're paying? 11.25 times. How about 5-year average? Past 5 years, how many times you are paying? Past 5 years? Okay, let's take a look. Are we getting the right answer? Okay, if you scroll all the way to the right. All right, guys, look at this. All right, current P ratio is 11.25. Past 5 years is 26.67 times. So guys, is this undervalue or overvalue? It's undervalue. And in fact, more than 50% discount. Guys, how many of you love great Singapore sales, right? Like a super good discount. Right now, it's happening to the stock market, right? So that is why, right, that with like P&I and Bowen are so excited because we are seeing so many great opportunities on good businesses, right? And if you think about it, let's look at the chart. This is based on valuation, right? Safety, well, we know it's a good company. If you check OMI checklist, Meta, it's a beautiful pass as well, right? And then fundamentally, valuation also passed. Now, how about TA? If you go back to Meta, you can see that it's a very terrible downtrend, right? Which Eugene just now, he mentioned about it, right? He bought it 2 years ago, and right now, like due to the market condition, it actually dropped quite a fair bit, right? And look at this, guys. I know it's a very scary downtrend, but once again, if you just zoom out a little bit, right? Just zoom out a little bit, we have actually dropped to which level? Okay, can you see that back in 2020 March, all right, Meta once dropped to $138, all right, and then another time that it's at $138, that was 2018. And guys, 4 years, 4 years have passed, and where are we right now? We are back to $138. So what do you think? Like, ask yourself, 4 years ago and 4 years later, now compared to 4 years ago, has Meta become a stronger business? Yes or no? What do you think? Has it become a stronger business? If you read the annual report of Meta, the users have been growing for the past 4 years, right? Advertisement revenue has been growing as well. So actually Meta has become a stronger company, yet the market is giving you a very good time to buy it, as if you are turning back time to 4 years ago. So is this an opportunity for you? You need to ask yourself. And nobody have a clear-cut answer, right? Depending on your portfolio size, the suitability of your portfolio. But once again, if you can do BOSS option strategy, you are willing to own 100 shares, you can consider selling put, right? If not, also can buy shares, right? Because right now it's not the best time for strategy X yet, right? But everybody can start investing, and I really hope, right, whether you are selected to join the mentorship or not, start investing, because right now is really the best time to start, right? Because if you do it right, especially during a crisis time like this, wow, your portfolio is really going to accelerate a lot, right, in the next 2 years to come. And we are so excited for the journey ahead. All right. So can everybody type action in chat? Start taking action. It's so crucial. This is really a golden period that I highly encourage everybody to participate. All right, now it's already 2:35. Okay, let's take a 5 minutes break, because right after this, okay, some of you are thinking, wow, right now it's bearish market, very scary. How do we protect our portfolio? Who knows how long is the bear going to last? Right, so what to do, right? In order to prepare, we need to learn one more strategy, and that is called strategy Y. Can everybody type strategy Y in the chat? Because right after this, we are going to invite Bowen, all right, to teach you the final very powerful strategy called strategy Y. So I will see you guys 5 minutes later, 240. Can everybody type 240 in the chat? And see you guys to learn strategy Y together. All right.
All right, hi everyone, and welcome back. Welcome back. If you can hear me, okay, can you help me to type in 888 in the chat? Okay, 888 stands for what? What? Okay. So by now, okay, you guys should be very excited, okay, because you have actually learned 3 out of 4 very powerful strategy. But I have got one very interesting question I want to ask all of you. How many of you, right, you have actually shorted the market? Okay, or you have actually done some kind of hedging during the most recent bear market? If you have done so, can you help me to type in 111? If you have not done any hedging, never short the market, type 000. Okay, we can see that maybe about 85% of you, okay, have never done any kind of hedging. Okay, and that is why this last final strategy is actually so powerful, because in strategy Y, we are going to learn how to, number 1, protect our portfolio, protect our capital. Okay, and of course, number 2, for those of you who wants to be able to make some profit from actually shorting the market, this is also going to be the strategy that can actually help you to accumulate more bullet as well. So if you are excited for what is actually coming up next, can you help me to type in Y for strategy Y? Great, fantastic. Okay, just give me a minute. Let me just make sure that. Are you able to see my PowerPoint? Okay, you should be able to see my PowerPoint. Yeah, just give me a minute. Let me just do a new share again. Okay, good. Are you able to see my PowerPoint? If you can, just help me to type in yes. Okay. It seems like you can also see all my windows. Just give me a minute. Let me just make sure that I'm sharing the correct one. Oh, let me see. Okay, stop sharing. Share screen, and yes. Okay, let me just make sure that everything is correct before I continue. Okay, technical error. Okay, but it's okay. I think you should be able to see the screen right now. All right, so anyway, welcome back, right? So again, very importantly, right, why this strategy is actually so powerful is because it will allow you to be able to benefit in a bear market. So like I said earlier on, for those of you who have a relatively large portfolio, this is going to be a very powerful hedging technique, okay, because it's going to help you to protect your capital. Okay, and of course, for those of you with a slightly smaller capital, you can also use this strategy to actually help you to actually accumulate more bullet as well. So before we move on to the strategy itself and also the execution on how we execute strategy Y, I think it is very important for us to understand the correct mindset, okay, to actually applying this strategy itself. So that is why, okay, I want to share with you these 2 very powerful mindset. Okay, the 2 key mindset as investor. Number 1, the first one is miserable mindset, and the second one is millionaire mindset. Okay, let me ask you, which one do you want to belong to? The miserable or the millionaire? 1 for miserable, 2 for millionaire. Type in 1 or 2. Okay, some of you say you can see my dog. Okay, don't worry. As long as you can see 90% of my screen, I think this is the most important. All right. So what happened is that, as you can see, during the 3 days, right, we have actually shared with you all the strategies already. What are some of the mistakes to avoid? But what happened? Okay, what happened if, let's say today, your mindset is wrong and you never change your mindset, right? You will realize you're going to repeat the same mistake again and again, and what will happen to your result? Your result will never change as well. So that is why it is important for us to understand the difference between the miserable mindset and the millionaire mindset. So this is what the miserable mindset people are thinking, especially, okay, in a bull market, when they are making money, they will be thinking, wow, I am making profits right now. How wrong can it go? And number 2, okay, my portfolio is up now. I am actually so clever. Okay, this is what miserable mindset people will be thinking. They will be thinking about, oh, since I'm making money, I must be a great investor. But what happened when the bull market turned into a bear market? This is the period of time where they start to get a little bit anxious. They'll be thinking, oh no, right now I'm losing my money. Should I cut my losses, or should I continue to hold on? Or rather, what should I do as a whole? Okay, so you realize that, okay, miserable mindset people, they are only able to make profit half of the time. right? But let's look at the other side of the picture. Investor with a millionaire mindset, okay, in a bull market, this is what they are actually thinking. Number one, they'll be thinking, okay, I am making profit right now, okay, so that is why I will need insurance for protection. So what they are thinking is, yes, I'm making money, okay, I think I'm a decent investor, but what should I do to continue to protect my capital? So they are thinking about protection already. And also they will say that, oh, right now my portfolio is up, I should seek more guidance to stay on the right track. As what Pete actually mentioned about this thing called blind spot. Okay, can you help me to share with me again? Remind me, what is blind spot? What did actually Pete mention? Blind spot is basically, okay, what you don't know what you don't know. Okay, yeah. So I think it is very simple, and the only thing that you can actually know what you do not know is to consistently seek guidance. So that is why even you can see for myself, Chloe, and even for Pete, we are consistently learning from each other and finding even better investors and talking to other investors out there to see, is there anything that we are actually missing out? So that's how we continue to stay in the game, and that is really how we continue to actually build our portfolio so that it can actually grow, okay, towards time, as time continues to grow. And last but not least, because they have already made all the preparation in the bull market, so when the bear market comes, do you think they are anxious, they are scared, or do you think they are actually excited? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Are they scared, or are they anxious, or are they? Right, fantastic, fantastic. I can see all the response. Okay, yes, exactly. They are actually excited. So this is very, very important, okay, in terms of the mindset, okay, between the miserable mindset and the millionaire mindset. So let me ask all of you, okay, as you can see over here, right, this is the two key mindset, okay, but one thing you can see is that the miserable mindset investor, they are always reacting. Can everybody help me to type it R? R stands for reacting. So what does this mean? This means that, right, they can only make money when the market is good. But what happened is that the profit doesn't stay long. Okay, so what happened is that if you yourself, you realize that your investment over the years has always been up and down like a roller coaster, then what is happening is that probably your current mindset is like a miserable mindset. Okay, you need to stop reacting to it and start taking action to prepare forward. Okay, so the keyword is actually to prepare forward. So you realize that millionaire investors, they are always planning ahead and they are more long-term thinking. So that is something very important that we need to start training ourselves to always be humble and never ever stop learning. So very, very important. So you realize that when we actually plan forward to take certain action, what we want to do, especially when it comes to strategy Y, is we want to use the profit that we actually make from strategy Y to garner bullets. Okay, why do we want to garner bullets, especially in this bear market? Because we know that during a bear market, this is the best time. This is the golden period for us to actually start buying into great company at a very, very, I would say very great price as well. So with all the bullets that we actually accumulate using this strategy Y, we are able to buy them during this bear market. And when the market recover, when we come to the next bull run, okay, that is where you will see your portfolio grow multiple times. All right. So if you understand, how we actually plan forward, can you help me to type in okay? Yes, exactly. Some of you say that they are always well prepared. So this is always the keyword. So now when we talk about this thing called protection, okay, so how do we actually protect our investment against a crisis? The one thing that often comes to our mind is this thing called insurance. Let me ask all of you here. How many of you here have bought insurance before? If you have done so, type I in the chat. Help me to type I in the chat. Yes, okay, wow, I can see a lot of you have bought insurance before. Okay, so for those of you who bought insurance before, congratulations, okay? Because what you are doing is actually planning ahead of something that has never happened before. Can you see that the whole idea of buying insurance is to buy something that has never happened before? That is actually what a millionaire mindset people are thinking. Okay, so really, I think you guys over here, you are all having the millionaire mindset. So really good job for that. So now coming to talk about insurance, okay, I think now that with the COVID restrictions slowly easing, people are starting to travel again. So for those of you, right, I just want to ask, for those of you who like to travel to Malaysia for a short trip or even for a staycation, do you actually buy insurance? Yes or no? For those of you who love to go to Malaysia, maybe JB, maybe go to KL, do you buy insurance when you go JB? Okay, so you realize that some yes, some no, but majority of you don't buy insurance, okay, when you go to Malaysia. Okay, but what happened is that usually we tend to buy insurance, okay, or rather travel insurance when we go for a trip that are slightly further away. So you realize one thing, okay, the bigger the risk, the more insurance we actually need to protect against the uncertainty. Agree? If you agree with me, type in A. A for agree. Okay, so it depends lah. Usually what I realize is that when you fly further away, you will definitely buy insurance. Nearby, maybe you kind of can self-insure yourself. But I want to ask all of you a very important question. How much would you pay for travel insurance? Can you help me to type it in? Whether is it $20, $50, $100? How much are you willing to pay for insurance? Okay, so we have $80, we have less than $200, $130, less than $50. Wow, Rabia actually paid $600, and some of you buy annual. Okay, if I'm just talking about one single trip. Okay, so let me share with you. Okay, recently, right, I just bought a travel insurance to Nepal, okay, for a 7 days trip. Maybe y'all can make a guess lah. How much does it cost me? 7 days, okay, a one-time trip, okay, to Nepal for 7 days. How much does it cost me? Wow, some put 200, some put 300. Wow, the price actually quite varies. Some put 1K. Okay, actually not so expensive lah. Okay, yeah, let me just show all of you. I actually paid $181. Okay, 181 US dollar lah, which is close to $200 over. So very importantly, is this $181 expensive or cheap? Okay, is it expensive or cheap? Very important. Yes, some of you actually understand already. Actually, it is not so much about expensive or cheap. Well, what is important is this 181 US dollar. What does it cover? Okay, so for some of you, you'll be wondering, hey, Bowen, how come you actually spend so much for this travel insurance? Okay, in this case, why did I buy an insurance that costs $200 over for 7 days? Is because this cover evacuation using helicopter. Okay, which is actually extremely important for a climbing trip that I'm actually going. Yes, some of you already mentioned it's because I get helicopter ride. Okay, yeah, so how much are you willing to pay for a helicopter ride? Okay, so very important, you have to ask yourself, like, if let's say today you never buy insurance and you climb halfway, you're stuck and you require a heli evac, how much will you be willing to pay? Okay, so imagine trading your life for a helicopter ride. Okay, I think even if it costs you a few thousand or even $10,000, in exchange for your health, I'm sure that we are willing to pay. So for me, if you ask me $200 over in exchange for this peace of mind, would I pay for it? The answer is definitely yes. The answer is definitely yes. So very important message that I want to share with all of you. Okay, it is not how much you buy, but really about buying what you need. Okay, so this is really the key message. So now, in the stock market itself, some of you are asking, am I climbing Mount Everest? Okay, don't worry, I'm not climbing Mount Everest, so you will still be able to see me after next month. Okay, yeah. So don't worry. Okay, so what happened is that in the stock market, we can also buy insurance. Now remember, strategy Y, right, is actually our insurance to protect us when the stock prices fall. So how we actually go and do it is actually by buying a put option. Okay, I repeat, how we do it is actually by buying a put option. So remember, when we buy a put option, what we are doing is we are actually locking in the selling price of the stock. Okay, we are locking in the selling price of the stock. So for example, if let's say today I do a buy put for an ABC stock at $50, so I'm able to lock in at $50. So when the price dropped from 50 to 40, what happened is that I can actually go to the market, buy it at 40, but remember, I can still go and sell at 50 because I have this particular contract that I can actually exercise. So that's how I can actually make the difference of the $10. Okay, if you understand this concept of buying put, can you help me to type in okay? Okay, so remember, when I buy a put at 50, I'm able to lock in the selling price at $50. So if it dropped to 40, I can actually just buy at a lower price and I can exercise it and sell at $50. I can make the difference in the $10. Okay, so that's how we actually make money by buying put option. Later, I will show you how to do it on the Think or Swim. So don't worry about the execution. We understand the concept first. So how do we actually apply strategy Y? Okay, number one, you can actually apply on the indexes. Okay, so that for example, if the market suddenly turn bearish, just like what is happening right now, your portfolio can be protected and your losses can be minimized. So let's take a look at SPY later on and we can see how this can actually be applied. So of course, can this only be applied on SPY? Okay, you can also apply on other indexes as well. So I know some of you are heavily invested into maybe like the China stocks. Some of you are heavily invested into Hong Kong stocks. So it depends on your overall portfolio. Okay, where does most of your money actually are tied to? Where does your portfolio actually belongs to? If most of your money is in the tech sector, you can actually buy a put on QQQ. Okay, if you are spread out across the US, then of course you can buy SPY. And of course for Hong Kong is Hang Seng Index. So that's exactly how you do it. So now let's take a look at this SPY. We can actually see that the SPY, based on what Chloe has actually taught all of us earlier on. Okay, you can see that how do we know whether the trend has changed? We can look at the crossover of the EMA. So you can see I've actually drawn two circles for you. One is the 20 cross 50. Okay, and of course the other one is the 50 cross 200. So based on this, okay, this is also the entry on when we can actually go and apply the buy put strategy on the SPY. So of course, okay, I have also go into a little bit more deeper. Okay, let me just go a little bit deeper into this. So number one is you can buy on indexes. Number two, you can also buy insurance on specific stock. I think Debbie is now asking this question. Perfect. Okay, we have already planned out. Okay, but remember, you will only buy insurance on specific stock only if you already own a very, very huge portfolio of it. So for example, over here, the definition is if you have a stock that is more than 10% in your portfolio, then you might want to consider hedging against it. So again, how do we actually do it? Let me just show you the overall picture. This is all the criteria. So criteria, okay, maybe your price is at all-time high, or in another case, like earlier on, the trend has already changed, it's coming down. You can also use it to apply strategy Y. So the objective is to use a buy put to lock in the sell price. How do we actually enter? You can see this is the execution. You do a buy put at +1 strike price. Okay, +1 strike price. So if let's say the price is $52, you want to go a little bit higher, maybe 52.5 or $53, okay, on a buy put. And this is the expiry date, just to take note. Okay, we try to go somewhere that is not too short, okay, but of course we don't go for the longest. So more than 240 days. Okay, that is more than 8 months. And very important, this is something that I have to emphasize. Okay, the maximum position that we want to go in is 5%. Okay, can everybody help me to type in 5%? This is something that I need all of you to really remember. Okay, it's just like all of us, like when we actually buy, let's say a life insurance or any kind of insurance, do we actually take all of money and go and buy insurance? The answer is no. Okay, maybe we allocate like 5% or 10% of our annual income or monthly income, and then we go and set aside to buy insurance. Okay, so it's the same concept over here. So unless let's say maybe you want to murder somebody then you can buy insurance on that person's life. Okay, jokes aside, okay. But other than that, remember, okay, this is something that has never happened before. We are just using it for hedging purposes. So when do we actually take profit? Very importantly, you can see that number one, either it hit the support. That means it has already come down quite significantly, hit a certain support area. That's where you can consider taking profit. Or number two, the expiry date is left with 120 days. Okay, so from 240 now, decay, left 120 days, we need to take profit or we need to get out of that position. Or number three, the trend has changed. Okay, which means that we expect the price to go down, but maybe there's another reversal. Now you see the trend actually moving upwards, the EMA pointing upwards. That is also another indicator to tell you that you need to start taking profit. So let me share with you an example over here. So what happened is that back in 2020, okay, I have a friend who actually invested pretty heavily into this particular stock called C Limited. Okay, how many of you are familiar with this company? If you're familiar, can you help me to type in SEA? SEA. Okay, very good question. Some of you say 5%, what does it mean? So 5% is based on your overall capital. Okay, so if let's say today your portfolio is 100,000, how much are you able to set aside for a hedging purpose? It's actually $5,000. Okay, so 5% of your overall portfolio, So this is very, very important, which also means that I know some of you are thinking, hey, Bowen, if let's say today my capital only got $10,000, 5% of 10,000 is how much? $50. Is it correct now? Or is it 500? Then you realize that there's very, very limited things that you can actually do. So I have to also tell you very upfront that when it comes to hedging purposes, it is mainly used for people with relatively larger portfolio. Okay, so if you have smaller portfolio, how? Later on, I have a part 2 to it. Okay, so don't worry about it. Now we just talk about part 1, which is for insurance purposes. So for big portfolio, for people who have heavily invested into the market, this is very, very important for you. So you can see this is for SEA. So what happens is that my friend, right, okay, got so much stock into SEA, okay, that technically is a very, very huge amount. So as he profit quite a fair bit, you can see the price went from like $40, went all the way to about $300 over. So that was where I actually told him, hey, have you considered actually buying some put to actually protect your portfolio? What do you think he tell me? Yes or no? Yes or no? Definitely, y'all should be quite familiar. The answer is no, because why? At that point of time, he just tell me that, hey, Bowen, I tell you, this one confirm will go up even higher one. Don't need to buy put one, don't need to buy insurance and all that. Okay lah, then of course, just leave it as it is. Then what happened is that subsequently, you can see that there is actually a signal. Wow, that's why you see why we teach you the TA part 2, very, very important. Okay, the EMA has a crossover, 20 cuts 50. Okay, so remember just now we talked about the first one is an early signal. Then not enough, right? Still got confirmation. Okay, so of course, if you now know how to do strategy Y and you know how to look at the trend reversal, you can also apply this to, in a way, make profit as well. So let me share with you, if let's say at that point of time, my friend had actually bought insurance on this SEA based on the indicator earlier on, let me show you what kind of profit, or rather what kind of premium this position would actually go. So I actually use Think or Swim, right? Think or Swim has got this function of where you can actually look back at the November 25th, 2021. Okay, so that was actually during this period of time. So based on the first cross. Okay, based on the first cross. So I based on that. As you can see, I go for a 295 days contract. Okay, 295 days. Then of course, I go for the one that is +1. So 290. So just remember, this is the premium. $46.90. Can everybody help me to type in 4690? 4690. So this is the premium. This is the premium that he have to pay. So for my friend, basically he want to save money lah. He don't want to pay this $4,690. Okay, yeah. Of course, let me share with you. This is 25th November. So on 25th of March 2022. Okay, we are going to take profit. Can anybody help me to type in, why are we taking profit on this particular date? Why are we taking profit on this particular date? I want to see if you understand, okay, the criteria that we mentioned earlier on. Yes, fantastic. Okay, because this is 120 days before the expiry. Okay, so let's say on this day, okay, whether or not you're making money or not, we're going to take profit. You can see that the price has actually, the premium has actually gone up to 175.2 based on exactly the same contract. Strike 290. Okay, then you can see based on the profit from $4,000 over, his contract now would have been worth about $17,000. Okay, of course, okay, I also want to be very, very upfront is that if he had hold on to his whole position, okay, he would still lose money from holding on to the stop position, but at least this would actually minimize his losses. Okay, this will be able to much minimize his losses, which also means that this additional 12,000 of profit, he can actually park into some other company that is actually having a discount right now. If you understand how this actually works, can you help me to type in okay? I just want to make sure that y'all understand this whole concept. So very powerful. Okay, so next, let me share with you one more example. Okay, so this is actually Suncor Energy. So let's say, right, you can see that during the dip, during this dip, right, let's say we managed to enter, okay, and then the price has actually gone up significantly. So you can see right now, right, over here at $42, the price has actually reached the all-time high. Okay, the all-time high. So all-time high is also another indicator for us to enter into a short position, or rather to use it as a hedging purposes. Okay, so you can use 5% of your portfolio and go and do a buy put. So what happened? Okay, you can see the price start to drop. So now I want all of you to play a very simple market game, okay, together with me. So you let me know, if let's say today we had invested at the top at $42, right now we are actually making some profit. Would you actually take profit, or would you continue to wait? Okay, so you let me know. If you will take profit, help me to type in TP. If you want to continue to wait and hold on, then you help me to type W for wait. Okay, so can everybody help me to type in, what would you do at this point of time? From $42 has dropped to $32. Take profit or wait? Take profit or wait? You can see a lot of you have actually typed in TP. Some of you say wait. Eugene say have not reached support. Okay. So for those of you, okay, who have actually taken profit, congratulations. Okay. Why? Because subsequently the price went up a little bit. Okay, so now, okay, at this current point of time where the price is $36, what would you do? For those of you who are still holding on to it, what would you do? Will you take profit, or would you continue to wait? Helen take profit. Ignatius also take profit. Ram say wait. Ken say wait. Ivan say take profit. What about the rest? Wow, still quite a fair bit mixture. Okay, so for those of you who take profit, not bad. You are still having a little bit of profit. But for those of the people who are waiting, okay, let me see what happened to the market right now. The market continued to go down even further. Okay, and right now we are at around $29. What would you do? What would you do? Can you help me to type in? Eugene say take profit now. Okay. Then Sue say take profit, cost turning bearish, question mark. I don't know why you have a question mark over there. Okay. Well, most of you are saying take profit, but I do see that there are still some people who are waiting. Like Dara, Erwin, who else? Who else still waiting? Kopio also waiting. Okay. For those of you who take profit, okay, congratulations, because you exited at the support. Remember, my blue line at the bottom is actually the support. And for those of you who actually continue to wait, okay, the price starts to reverse back up. Okay, the price starts to reverse back up. So from this game, okay, very importantly, like I said, always learn how to follow the rule. Okay, because why? Remember, we say that when it reaches support, it is time for you to take profit. So don't be greedy. I think when it comes to shorting the position, right, very importantly is we try not to be greedy. Okay, at any point of time, in fact, earlier on, if you're happy with the profit that you actually make from shorting, it is okay for you to take profit. Okay, it is actually okay for you to take profit. So can everybody help me to type in FTR? FTR stands for follow the rule, and also it also means feedback to ROI. Very, very important. Both are equally important. Okay, help me to type FTR. Yes. So what happened if you don't follow the rule? Okay, let me share with you. This is actually one of our grad. Okay, her name is Celia. So you can see Celia. Okay, our Hong Kong student. So what happened is that she followed Pete guidance. Okay, Pete share about the market update. Then after that, this Celia go and short the market. You can see that she actually did a buy put, but she went to close off and she made a few 100%. You can see it make a few 100%. But very importantly, I want to actually point out something that Celia did that is absolutely correct. Okay, in fact, I think Celia has got a millionaire mindset. So what happened is that when she actually take profit, the whole purpose of that, she mentioned, I have prepared to collect good company. What is she planning to do with the profit that she made? She's planning to use the profit to start buying into great company. That's exactly what you need to be doing. Yes, reinvest. Okay, so reinvest your profit into maybe another stock that has got a good entry opportunity. But on the other hand, we have another student, okay, also followed the market update. After that, went to buy some put, but you realize that the result is almost the opposite. This particular lady, okay, lost nearly 50% of her entire portfolio. You can see it is very, very painful for her because why? It is most of her savings. Now, I want to ask all of you a very important question. What do you think is the mistake that this person have actually made? What do you think is the mistake that she made? Exactly, I can see that some of you have already typed in the correct answer. Okay, yes, she did a buy put, okay, but what happened is that she did not follow the rule of portfolio sizing. Okay, as you can see, she lost nearly 50%. How would you have lost 50%? The only way for you to lose is you actually invest at least 50% of your entire portfolio into this short position. Okay, so remember, when you do a buy put, okay, whatever you invest in the premium, that is your maximum losses. So if she can lose nearly 50%, it means that she actually invested quite a fair bit, okay, into this short position, which is extremely risky, okay, based on her portfolio sizing. So that is why we mentioned that, okay, very importantly, we need to follow the rule. But I think what makes this worse is that because of this mistake that she made, you look at the last sentence, she said that I have been thinking that maybe I should quit investing. Okay, so I think from day one, I have also emphasized and say that, okay, I think if you make mistake, is that the worst thing? I don't really see mistake as something that is very, very bad because I always see mistake and success as something that goes hand in hand. But what is important is that when you make a mistake, you want to learn from your mistake. And whenever you learn from your mistake, okay, you get the feedback, you change it, improve on it. That's how you will start to see success. So because what happened is that she sees this as a mistake, and this mistake, okay, is so big that she decided to give up. Very importantly, when she give up, do you think there is any chance for her to recover? Yes or no? If you give up, will there be any chance for you to recover? The answer is definitely no. Right? So this is why it is very, very important. So some of you are already asking, why 5%? Why can only do 5%? Because like I said, okay, market, okay, let me ask you, do you think market go up more or market go down more? Up or down? Important question. Okay, most of the time, I would say 80% of the time, okay, actually market goes up. So when you do a shorting position, it only happen, in a relatively short period of time. So which also means that the time frame for you to actually do it, you have to do it right. So for example, today, if you want to do a short position and really, really profit from it, in the last few years, when will be a good time? Number one, either 2020, you managed to catch the drop during the COVID, or the most recent one, which is the last 8 months. If you have done any shorting, you would actually benefit from it. But any time other than that, chances of you making money from this is relatively harder. Okay, so this is why what we want to do is focus on the bull market, because the bull market happens more of the time. Okay, and that is where more money can be made. Okay, so don't overemphasize on this, but this is something that it is important, but we don't need to overly emphasize. That's why we set the 5% thingy. So I really, really love something that Pete always mentioned. He actually said that the loss is not in what you can measure right now, but it is in what you can achieve in the future. So that's why, right, every time I see somebody, giving up when it comes to investing because of some of the losses, to me, I feel that they are very short-sighted. Why? Because of that $5,000 losses or that $10,000 loss, they give up. But what they are missing is if they continue to stay invested, okay, the amount of time horizon that they can actually profit from can be the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Okay, this is something that they never look at. They never look at the future. What happened if I continue to stay invested? Okay, I can easily make back way more than what I have actually lost in that one single lesson. Okay, so very importantly, we look at the long term. Now let's look at the second part. So just now we talked about part one, which is actually on the insurance portion. Second one is how do we actually make a so-called a bearish bet. Okay, so this is the criteria. Okay, this is the criteria. So number one, you can do this when the trend is actually heading downwards. Okay, or number two, when you see the stock at resistance. So this one can be done on a relatively shorter time frame also. So when you see, remember we have our support and resistance. If you see that the stock is at resistance, you can also apply this as a bearish bet. And number three, this is more of a short-term trade itself. So same thing, objective is we expect the price to actually drop. How do we actually execute it? We buy a put at +1 strike. So this is the same as earlier on. The only difference, as you can see over here, is the expiry date. Instead of more than 240 days, we are reducing the number of days to between 3 months to 4 months. Okay, between 90 days to 120 days. Right, so the maximum position is still the same at 5%. Exit is actually also the same. Price drop significantly, trend change, or the expiry date is less than 60 days. You understand the difference? Let me just take a look at the question from her. If I do 5% for 5 trade, it will be 25% of my portfolio. Very important question. The 5% is inclusive of all your bearish bet. Okay, so all of your strategy Y combined together is 5%. Okay, so technically you shouldn't be doing a lot of 5%, 5%, 5%, 5%. No, it's everything combined, all of your short position combined, maximum 5%. Okay, so I hope I've answered this because I think this is very, very important. Okay, next, let me just show you an example of the bearish bet. So this is Boeing. Okay, so what happened is that back in 2020, okay, let me ask you on the 26th of February 2020, what happened? Can anybody tell me? What happened on the 26th of February 2020? Yes, fantastic. It's actually the start of COVID. So because of COVID, okay, traveling has actually stopped, and this has also got a huge impact on the aircraft industry. So at that point of time, if you are looking at a chart of Boeing, you will be able to see that the chart has shown a breakout. So the price actually break out of the support area. Okay, so based on technical, okay, a breaking out is also a very, very strong bearish signal. So if you know how all this signal, how it works, technically at that point of time, you can also execute a strategy Y. You can execute a buy put. So what happened is that one of our students, okay, actually went in on the buy put on this particular period of time, and you can see the price dropped significantly. Okay, so on the 13th of March 2020, okay, he actually took profit, okay, and gotten a total ROI of 3,400%. Let me ask you, why do you think he take profit on the 13th of March 2020? Why? Why? The big why. Okay, so everybody got different answers. So some say 60 days, some say left 120 days. Okay, the reason is actually because the price has already dropped quite significantly, and he is happy with the return. Okay, so he actually took profit on that point of time. Again, you don't have to exactly time when is the lowest, because why? We never ever know when exactly is the lowest. So usually by the time you know, it's already too late. Right, so 3,400%. How many of you don't mind? If you don't mind, can you help me to type in DM for don't mind? Okay, so this one very, very important. So you can see for this particular trade, right? Okay, he make a profit of $9,000. Okay, profit of $9,000. Let me ask you, based on this particular trade, how much money do you think he actually put in? How much money did he put in for this particular trade? Just make a guess. Yes, fantastic. Wow, I love all of your math. Very, very good. Okay, yes, his invested capital for this strategy Y, which is the buy put, is only $300 over. So remember, $3,000 over, $300 over is his 5%. So that's why I think it is definitely still pretty much doable. So his overall portfolio was about 6,000. In fact, he got more than 6,000. Okay, so for him, that 5% is something that he is very much manageable. Okay, so remember, this is really the power of strategy. Why? So now, coming to the second part, which is to buy put on specific stock, there are a few very important criteria. Number one, only do it for bad company. Okay, only do it for bad company. And number two, never bet against good company. So for example, earlier on, we talked about, for example, like Meta, we talked about Apple. So all these are great company. Do you want to actually go and short them? Probably not. Okay, unless you are using for hedging purposes, then that's different because you have got so much exposure to that company, you want to use it for hedging. So that is totally fine. But when it comes to purely shorting based on technical, okay, doing a bearish bet, okay, as much as possible, we try not to do it on great company. Okay, and last but not least, be ready to cut loss as well. So again, okay, this one is a little bit riskier and harder to do. Why is that so? It's because, like I said, you need to have some knowledge on technical analysis. The better your TA is, then of course, the more accuracy, the higher probability of success, based on this particular trade. So I just want to show you one of the example that I shared, okay, during our last VW. Okay, I actually showed them, okay, this company called GameStop. First thing first, we look at this company. Do you think this is a good company or a bad company? Good or bad? Some say good, some say bad. Okay, how do we know? Very simple. We look at the OMI. Okay, we look at the OMI. So we can actually see from the OMI, the cash from operating activity, negative. Okay, then net profit margin, negative. Interest coverage doesn't even show. Okay, so just from this, you can already see that this is definitely not a good company to begin with. Okay, so I just zoom in a little bit for you. Right. So another thing that appear is basically that is a signal at the point of time. Okay, what signal is this? Can you help me to tell me? What signal is this? Yes, fantastic. We have the death cross. Okay, yes. Okay, yeah, basically we can see that the both 20, 50, 200, they are all crossing down together. So based on this, okay, can you see based on the chart? If I were to enter at this point of time, where would be my potential take profit? Remember, when it reached the support, you want to consider taking profit. So you can see the drop from there to down the support is about 13%. So this was last month. Okay, let me show you. This is today's chart. Can you see the price actually drop, reach the support, jump back up? So if you did not exit when it touches the support, what happened? If you never follow the rule, you continue to wait and wait and wait, then of course, okay, the market is quite good, give you one more chance. Okay, go up and then come back down again. Then if you don't take, okay, go up, come back down again. Okay, but very importantly, please go and take profit on the first, okay, run when it touches the support. So this is very, very powerful. This is exactly how you actually do it as well. So now I'm going to show you how you can actually do this on TOS. Okay, so very importantly, I will actually demonstrate one time. Okay, and I want all of you to see how I actually do it. I'm going to stop my sharing right now, and I'm going to move on to my think or swim. Okay, so make sure that you can actually see my TOS. If you can see my TOS, can you help me to type in TOS in the chat? Okay, can Okay, so I'm just going to use this example of GameStop just as an illustration only, just as an illustration. So remember, if let's say today I'm using the second one, which is a bearish bet, what is the expiry date that I should be using? How many days? How many days? 90 to 120 days. Okay, so let's say I'm going to choose somewhere between 110, 20 of January 2023. So because this is a buy put, so what we want to do is we want to focus on the right hand side. Can you see? On the right hand side, this is the put. The current price is 25.13. We want to do plus 1. So that is going to be 26.25. So when we are buying a put, which one do we go for? Do we click on the bid or do we click on the ask? So when we are buying a put, we always click on the ask. So this is the $7. So you can double check and make sure. You can see this is a buy, one contract of GME at this particular expiry date, and this is a put. So this is how you can double check and make sure that you did the correct one. And of course, we're going to move it into the mid price. So we bargain a little bit and we can click confirm and send. So can you see how much is it going to cost me? The maximum is going to cost me is 680. 680. Yeah. So if everything is correct, just click send. So this is how you actually do it. Okay, so I think this is pretty straightforward because once you understand how to do strategy X, which is buy call, this is just the opposite. It's just one is on the left hand side, one is on the right hand side. All right, so if you are familiar with this, can you help me to type in OK? Okay, again, for those of you who needs a little bit more refresher, just go and rewatch this video after the training. Okay, very, very straightforward one. Okay, that's great, that's great, that's great. Wow, I can see that all of you are progressing very, very well. Okay, so we are going to have a quick break really, really soon. Okay, so I just need you to resume share. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to bring back my screen once again. So make sure that you can actually see my screen. Okay, so just to do a quick summary, okay, when it comes to strategy Y, okay, you realize that there's actually two kinds of mindset. Number one is actually more for protection, which is the first part, more for insurance basis. So when do we do the insurance? Either you have a lot of exposure into the US market, or you have a lot of exposure into certain market like Hong Kong market, or you have a huge exposure into a certain stock. Like maybe some of you, your whole portfolio is on Tesla. Then you want to protect against, Tesla dropping. That is more for protection. Speculation is purely based on maybe like support resistance, or maybe you look at the death cross. Okay, that's how you actually look at the entry. All right, so that's a little bit more of a bearish bet. So you can see again, different strategies have got different risks. For me personally, I find that if you use it for protection purposes, it's actually more low risk. Okay, because if let's say earlier on, if let's say my friend actually did a buy put on the SEA, let's say if let's say SEA didn't drop, it continued to go up even higher. Do you think his overall portfolio will still do well? Yes or no? If let's say SEA didn't drop, okay, it continued to go all the way to $500-600. Would that $4,000 make a huge impact? Maybe it will reduce his portfolio profit by a little bit, but overall he will still be making money. Okay, so can you see that? Okay, when it comes to protection, we are just using a small percentage of money to bet against anything that could potentially happen, the uncertainty. Okay, but when it comes to the speculation part, that's where your skill set is important. Okay, your skill set is important. Right. So remember, strategy Y, right, for me, if you ask me, is really to help us to accumulate bullet during the bear market so that we can actually buy great company at a lower price. If you ask me right now, hey Bowen, do you think now is still a very, very good timing for us to do strategy Y based on the first part, which is hedging? I would say that maybe now a little bit challenging already. Why? Because the market has already fallen by how much? The index has already dropped 20%. Okay, so if you really, really want to hedge, you should have hedged it 8 months ago. Okay, or at least when the cross first appear, you want to already start to do the hedging. However, can we still do the second part, which is the bearish bet? The answer is yes. Okay, the answer is yes. So there's still opportunity for you to do strategy Y. But remember, you need to have your technical analysis to really, really support you, okay, based on that. So last but not least, how do we actually protect our overall portfolio other than using hedging? I think very important is that in a bull market, okay, everybody can be a very, very good investor. But when it comes to a bear market, that is where we get to see who is really the good investor and who is the so-called miserable mindset investor. So let me ask all of you right now, okay, we all know that right now we are in a bear market, potentially moving into a bull market. Okay, what do you think would be the most important thing that we need to start doing before the bull market comes? What should we start doing? Let me see if you guys are actually being already well trained. Okay, watch list ready, keep cash, hone your skill. What else? What else? Invest, buy into good company. Okay, Sue say buy call. Accumulate cash. Bearish bet. Get cash and do homework. Capital. Okay, very simple. I think very importantly is we need to start preparing for it. Okay, and again, okay, I would say that the market, we still have to, in a way, look at where the market is heading. So if you actually refer back to yesterday, okay, what Pete actually mentioned, when the market dip, is it really a bad thing? To me, this is actually a good thing because Warren Buffett make most of his money, okay, during a bear to bull market. So even when his portfolio dropped by almost 50%, it doesn't really matter to him because he knows that when he actually do the right thing in a bear market, his portfolio subsequently is going to compound way more than the losses. So that's exactly what you guys need to do. I think some of you mentioned start honing, prepare your watch list. Okay, I think all this is important. But other than preparing, I think the next important thing is to really take action. Okay, can everybody help me to type in take action? Okay, because end of the day, theory is theory. Whatever we share with you so far is the knowledge, right? If you never go and apply anything, is there going to be any change to your result? The answer is going to be no. So like I said, everybody is a genius in a bull market, but what you really do in a bear market will really determine if you will be able to become, really grow your portfolio in the next 1 to 2 years. So always remember, especially for those of you who are investing alone, okay, or if you are totally new to investing, you need to be really, really careful because you do not want to start off on the wrong foot. Okay, so I think last but not least, okay, are you ready already? Are you ready to get started? Okay, yes or no? Are you guys ready? We have already shared with you 4 very, very powerful strategy. Let me see. Okay, good. Wow, a lot of you say yes. So what we are going to do right now, okay, very, very exciting. I don't know why I'm so excited. Okay, what we are going to do right now is I am going to invite one of you up. Okay, I'm going to invite one of you up for hot seat. Okay, and this time round, we are going to combine everything that we have actually learned from the FA to the TA to the strategy to the execution. You are going to do it together with me. Okay, how many of you want to be selected for this super hot seat? Okay, if you want, can you help me to type in me? Or Helen say, oh my God, that's overwhelming. Okay, because you all say you're ready, so I ask you all, are you ready? You say yes. Okay, fantastic. Okay, let me see who is ready. Let me see who is ready. Wow. Suhairi looks very ready. Yeling is ready. Smaran is ready. Okay, Sue is also ready. Wow, I want to see all the more quiet one. All the quiet one. Let's do it anyway. Okay, I think I saw one name that's actually very, very familiar, same as my previous classmate. Okay, and that is Kendra Po. Kendra Po, are you here? I don't think you're my classmate, but yeah, your name is very familiar. So if Kendra is here, then let's go for Kendra. Let me see if Kendra is, yes, you are here. You are the chosen one. Can we actually spotlight Kendra?
Yep.
Hello. Yes, I can hear you. Kendra, are you using your phone or your laptop?
I'm using my phone.
You're using your phone now. Okay, that will be a little bit challenging. Okay, but are you up for the challenge?
So I have to change to my phone, to my laptop.
How fast will that take?
To be quite faster.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Now everybody can see where you stay. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, y'all don't go and disclose. Yeah.
Okay.
CSI. Okay, so in the meantime, so for the rest of us, right, what we are going to do is we are also going to help Kendra a little bit. So can everyone help us to type in one company that you are, if let's say you only have one stock that you need to buy, you will buy one. What is that one stock that you will buy? Okay, let's take a look. We have Apple, we have Baba, we have, let me see. Google, Amazon. Okay, so Kendra, later on, whenever you're ready,
Yes. Okay, hold on. Yeah.
whenever you're ready, you just choose one of the company that is over there. So the other laptop is also on Zoom or no?
It's on Zoom.
Oh, so can we later maybe also spotlight, because I will probably need you to help me to share screen on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I try. I'm not very good in all this.
No worries, no worries. We are all learning together. Okay, so I want you to choose one company from the list of.
Okay, so I'm going to switch off the other one.
Okay, so can our team help to support Kendra, the other platform? I think we can only make sure that one of them is on. Okay, just give us a little bit of time. Wow, let me just take a look at some of the company. ADB, PDD, Ping Duo Duo, Meta, QQQ, Yum. Wow, Yum. Who is the one that choose Yum? Raymond, are you a KFC lover? KFC, Taco Bell lover. Anyway, Yum is actually the holding company for a lot of all these fast food chain. So really, really interesting. Okay, then we have Microsoft, Google, Apple, Tesla, Neo, interesting. Okay, Amazon. All right, so Kendra, when you're ready, I want you to pick one company from all the company that your classmate have actually chosen for you. Which one you also personally love one?
Okay. NVIDIA?
NVIDIA. Okay, so are we able to go and look at the FA first? So can you share your screen so that we can actually take a look at NVIDIA?
How am I supposed to share my screen?
No, you should share screen on your laptop, not on your phone.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Maybe I share my screen, then you tell me whether can or not.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
I use mine easier. Okay, so first of all, let's go to jita.com, okay? Jita.com. So let me just go and log in first. Log in. Okay, I'm going to use this one. Okay, so when you come to Jita, very importantly, let's look at NVDA. NVIDIA. So maybe, Kendra, you tell me, where should I click next?
NVIDIA. Which one?
I mean, I'm already here. What is the next thing I should click on?
Fact sheet.
Okay, fact sheet. And then looking at the fact sheet, you tell me pass or fail.
Pass or fail.
So we look at the first one first. Cash from operating activity. Pass or fail?
Pass.
Okay, pass. Net profit margin, pass or fail?
Pass.
What about the interest coverage?
This one I forgot.
Oh, this one you forgot. But your classmate never forgot. So maybe the classmate can help to remind.
Pass.
What is the number that we are looking at? Don't just tell her pass Tell her what number we need to. Then
More
we can
than
add it
4.
together.
Okay, more than 10.
More than 4. Okay, some say more than 4. Hey, how come all the answer a bit different one? Okay, the more the merrier. 4 is the minimum. Okay, but this is 40 so it's very, very safe. So just from this, can we conclude that NVIDIA is a good company or a bad company?
Good company.
Good company. Okay, so after we pass the FA, what is the next thing that we need to look at?
The support and resistance.
Okay, before we go to that, just now Chloe taught all of you a very, very important thing. Right before Chloe passed to me.
The PE ratio.
Yes, exactly. You want to look at valuation. So where can we look at valuation? Which website?
Morningstar.
Yes, fantastic. So how do you do that? Usually I'll just type in the NVDA, type in Morningstar. Okay, so for the rest of all of you, right, you also join in together and learn through the whole process because later on, all of you are going to do this. Not later on, okay, after these 3 days. Okay, yes. So when we come to NVIDIA, okay, what happens is that we go to this thing called valuation. Can you see valuation?
Yes.
And so same thing, Kendra, I need you to help me with something very, very important. Tell me, undervalue or overvalue? I'm going to just show you.
Current is 10, is undervalued.
Current is 10. You got see correctly?
No. Current is 39.67. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Current
why is it undervalued? Eh? Which one are you comparing it to?
2021. No. Oh, I should be comparing to 5 year.
Ah, yes. So if we look at the 5-year average is 58, but right now it's 39. So comparing it relatively is actually under value.
Value.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So the FA passed, valuation has passed. Now we move on to the chart itself. So we look at NVDA. So coming to the chart, okay, I'm just going to remove all this, everything first. What should we be doing first when we come to the chart itself?
Draw the support and resistance
Okay,
line.
before that, how long should we be looking at first?
5 year.
Okay, let's take a look at 5 years. You can see, wow, still going up. Of course, the drop has been quite significant, but at least you can see that the trend is still uptrend overall. Now, coming back to the last 1 year, this is going to be the chart. Okay, so do we draw support and resistance?
Yes.
Okay, how would you have drawn? Okay, challenging. Okay, maybe I will just draw then you tell me whether is it correct or not. Like that, correct or not?
Yeah, I will draw this.
Or will you draw like that?
No, the first one.
So the first one,
Yeah.
you will draw something like that. Okay. And what about the bottom one, the support? Is it something like that?
Yeah. Must this be parallel, these two lines?
Must it be parallel? Doesn't have to be parallel.
Okay.
So far like that, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So we can see that this is actually overall, I think for the support and resistance, maybe not exactly the most straightforward kind of a support resistance, but very importantly, just by drawing this, we can all see that it is definitely heading downwards. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, another thing to look at the trend is to actually look at these three lines. The red line, yellow line, and the green line. Can you see all of them pointing downwards? So telling you, okay, it is going downtrend. So if we look at this chart overall, what do you think will be a potential strategy that we can apply? Strategy X, strategy X plus, strategy Y, strategy, what else? What did we teach? BOSS.
BOSS now.
BOSS now.
Yeah.
At what price do you think will be, why do you choose BOSS? Maybe you can share a bit of your
Because
understanding.
it's going down.
Okay,
So
it's
the
going
price is
down,
going
so we
down.
do BOSS.
Yeah.
Right.
To get. Yeah, it's either I can buy the shares to keep the shares. If not, I can keep the premium.
Okay. So first thing first, we have to understand that at current price, are you happy collecting the share? Okay, if your answer is yes, then we can actually look on into how do we collect? Maybe we can use BOSS. So for example, right now the price is $121. If I were to just go to the market and buy at 121, okay, you realize that, can I buy at 120? The thing is I can't. The only thing I can do is wait. So what you can do is maybe you can do a sell put at 120. So if it drop, what happened is that, okay, you got it at 120. Plus, don't forget, because you still collect a premium, maybe your premium is about $5. So can you see that actually your cost price is how much? 120 minus the premium is only 115. So BOSS is actually very powerful because it allows you, other than collecting the premium, it also allows you to bring down your buying price. So instead of buying at 121, you can potentially buy it at 115. That's provided that you want to own the share. But if let's say today I do not want to own the share, how? What should I do?
Buy put.
Okay, buy put. Do you really want to buy put on NVIDIA?
No.
Okay, I remember earlier on we mentioned when we do a buy put, let's say I look at it from a second perspective as a bearish bet Do we want to do a bearish bet on a good company or a bad company?
Bad company.
Bad company okay. I know all of you very excited. Okay, like in the chat I see so many people say yes, go and buy a put. Okay, but there are so many companies out there. If you want to buy a put, go and choose a lousy company to buy a put. Don't go and select an NVIDIA that everything pass, then you go and short it. Okay, yes. So very, very important for us to take note. So you realize that for this one, either you do BOSS, okay,
Or strategy X plus.
Strategy X Plus, not
No.
exactly the best timing to do right now also. Okay, or simply you can wait for the trend to reverse before you go in. So very important lesson I want to also share with all of you is that you don't have to force a trade on every single company that you want to enter. Okay, maybe what happened is that NVIDIA will drop to furthermore maybe $80 before it reverse. Then we have the 20 cross 50. Wait for that time. Then you go and do a strategy X. Remember how waiting is also a very, very important strategy. Okay, Ian say can do strategy Y. But what happened is that we wait for the signal to appear. Right now it is downtrend. Do we want to do a strategy X? The answer is also
No.
so yes, I hope this has been important sharing for all of us. Okay, that we don't really have to do everything at the current point of time. There are other opportunities out there. Okay, always apply the right strategy on the right company and also based on your portfolio sizing as well. If your portfolio is big, maybe this is suitable for you. If your portfolio is small, maybe you need to do other strategy as well. Right. So overall, Kendra, is this something? Have you learned something from this?
Yes, thank you for bringing me through the process.
But steady lah. Anyway, you're the chosen one. Okay. So since you're here, then I need to ask you some question also lah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe you just ask lah. Like, have you already been investing before?
No, zero experience.
Totally new.
Totally new.
Then I got a very important question to ask lah. Why did you decided to join us for these 3 days?
A year ago, I actually joined the VI.
Okay.
I went through their course. I went through the VI Pro, and all this for the last I joined in September 2021, and I just keep reading and listening to all their whatever classes and seminars that they have.
Got it.
I did my own research and stuff like that. I want to start on something. Then I actually I stopped for a while because my work actually takes up a lot of my time. I picked it up again somewhere in June, July, somewhere there. Then I bumped into this one, which is the options one, where I start to know who is Warren Buffett, because all this time I don't know anyone. So then there's like Mary Buffett and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, actually you know a few more person like you know Pete, you know Chloe, you know me, right?
Yeah, okay, now I know a lot more.
Are we part of your people that you know now?
Yes, other than Cathy Wood and all this. Yeah, so then I said, okay, why not I give it a try. Although I know options is really something like seems dangerous. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I ask you an important question lah. Like, what do you hope to achieve lah? Maybe 1 year or 2 years from now. What is the thing that you want to achieve?
High ROI, 200% and more.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, to embrace myself with all the knowledge to actually bring me forward, because I really have total nothing, zero. Yeah, absolutely nothing, that I don't even know how to start. I don't even know what questions to ask. And yeah, totally.
Nice. So what do you think will be required for you to achieve your that 200%? What's your plan?
I really think a good yes, because I went to VI and I realized that it's so mass, it's not targeted. I know that and I have one sum of money that I want to protect, so I think I need to buy insurance. So therefore, having a group or a mentor is very important. And at least someone to like tell me, first of all, besides kicking me how to kickstart, but along the way to help me to minimize the mistakes. I don't want to. Yeah, I'll try my best to avoid all those unnecessary mistakes that so many other investors have experienced.
Okay. So getting a mentor lah. So you applied already lah.
Yes, I applied already. Correct.
Okay. Cool. Anyway, can we all type in CCC for Kendra? Type in CCC for Kendra. Okay, thanks for also being so open and so honest, even though like she's new and all that. Okay, but I think after this, whole thing of running through, okay, just by doing this a few more times, I can tell you that even for people who are totally new, you become more and more familiar. Okay, so again, like I say, investing doesn't have to be very, very complicated, but it has to be something that is replicable. It has to be something that's systematic and something that individual, all of us, we can do it one. if this is something that only I can do it, I make it very complicated, then I tell you, it is not something that is really, really effective for every one of us. So what we're going to do right now is later on when you come back, I have a special bonus for all of you. Okay, but right now we're going to go for a 5 minutes break. Okay, 5 minutes break. Time right now is 3:50. Okay, so when you come back, I'm going to show you how you can actually achieve your goal 30 times faster. Okay, 30 times faster. But before that, okay, just a quick announcement also for those of you who have actually applied, okay, for the mentorship, please do reply our consultant message, okay, because we need to definitely allocate the timing for all of you as well. Time now 3:50, come back at 3:55 sharp. See you guys later for the bonus. All right, and welcome back. Welcome back. So if you're already back here, can you help me to type 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in the chat? Okay, that's great. That's great. Wow, let me see some of the question also. Are the skill that we learned these 2 days only useful for US market? Okay, very, very important question. Okay, whatever you learn in the FA and the TA, all this can be applied in any market. Okay, whether it's the Singapore market, Hong Kong market, Shanghai market, all this can actually be applied. But when it comes to options, okay, very importantly, you have to understand that not every market does offer options. Okay, so I would say that 2 main markets that we are familiar that use options. Number 1 is US, number 2 is Hong Kong. However, even for Hong Kong, their options is a little bit different. Okay, so that is why I would say that, okay, if you're using options, focus on US market. Focus on the US market. So now I'm going to open up my PowerPoint. So make sure that you can actually see my PowerPoint as well. Okay, are you able to see it? Pause, new, resume share. Wait, let me see if it works. Resume share, new share. Nope. Okay, then I have to go back to this. Okay, yep, you should be looking at my screen. Okay, so just a very, very important code to start off this special bonus that I have for all of you. And that is, okay, I really want you guys to really dream big. Okay, start small. But I think other than that, most importantly is to actually start right. Okay, because the starting point is actually one of the most important part. So for those of you who are new to investing, okay, I really want all of you to be able to actually get on the right foot so that at least, especially if you're new, right? Imagine you come in and then you get bad experience. Half of you probably will just give up, because of the bad experience. Now, again, for those of you who have a large portfolio, okay, why do you need to start right? Because if you start wrong, the damage is going to be very, very painful. Okay, so some of you might look at, maybe the pain is right now. But I can tell you, in the long run, your pain can be even more, because if you do everything right and you compound it during this current period of time, the kind of reward that you can actually see in the next few years, it is going to be very, very different. Okay, so very importantly, can everybody help me to type in start right? Start right in the chat. So how can we actually start right? Importantly is how can we actually achieve our goal 30 times faster? So if you can reach your goal 30 times faster, then of course I would say that you're definitely on the right track. So there's actually this very, very important study done by Harvard Business. So what happened is that they actually reviewed the statistic related to their MBA student success 10 years after graduation. All right, so first of all these people, they are all very, very smart people. They are all MBA, Harvard graduate. Now, interesting fact is that 83% of the graduate does not have any goal. 14% of them actually have some kind of goal in their head. And you can see that you have 3% of them, okay, who actually write down their goal and they are very, very clear and specific about their goal. Now, what happened is that this study has actually found that 14% of the people who have goal are 10 times more successful than those without goal. Okay, can everybody help me to type in 10x? Okay, just by having some idea, okay, like maybe I want to have $5,000 passive income, or I want to bring my family for a nice holiday every single year. I want to be able to retire my parents. I want to give my kids the best education. Just by having that idea in your head, right? Okay, it's already 10x more powerful than people who have totally no goal. Okay, and of course, you can see the 3% of the people who have written goals. That means they know very clearly what they want and they actually write it down. They are actually more successful than the 14% with unwritten goal. Okay, so can you see? One is 10x, the other one is 3x. So if let's say today, all of us, we actually do this very, very powerful exercise of writing down our goal, can you see that you are 30 times more effective than someone who never ever write down their goal? So that is exactly what we are going to do in a while. And of course, to illustrate to you how powerful this is, right? Okay, again, the person that I'm going to demonstrate to you is none other than Chloe. Okay, why is that so? Okay, back in 2022, in fact, this is actually in end of 2021. Okay, Chloe actually did an exercise to write down her goal for the next year. So you can see on the bottom right hand corner, this is the goal that she actually set. I want to own a private property. I want to invest in a private property. I know some of you can't see from my screen, okay, but actually is invest in a property. Okay, invest in a property. And let me ask you a very important question. Singapore property, expensive or cheap? Expensive or cheap? Yeah, don't worry, I read out for you because I know y'all cannot see. Expensive lah, okay? Then of course you can see the powerful thing is that after she write down, right? Okay, amazing thing is less than 1 month. Less than 1 month, okay, actually she gotten an opportunity to invest in a local property. Okay, so together with Pete, okay, Pete actually guided her, show her, you know, what to buy, where to buy and everything because Pete is her mentor. So Chloe bought her first local property, you know, in less than 2 months after writing down and declaring out. Okay, so this is really the power of writing goal. All right, so if you can see how powerful it is, okay, can we all type in goal, G-O-A-L. So what I'm going to do right now is we're going to go to step number 1 and we are all going to write down our goal. Okay, so I want all of us to write down the goal that you want to achieve by October 2023, which is 1 year later from today. Okay, so it can be, I want to achieve $2,000 per month passive income. I want to buy a new condo. Okay, it can be anything. Okay, but one thing I want to challenge all of you is that please don't be restricted by what you believe that you can achieve. Okay, I want you to actually write down, if let's say today there's no limit to what you can achieve, what do you actually want to have 1 year later? I want you to actually let your mind really go as free as possible, okay, to really dare to dream big. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to complete this goal setting exercise. And what we will do later on is that this 2 minutes, I want you to put your goal inside the Zoom chat. Okay, and after 2 minutes, our team will actually screenshot all this and we are going to put it onto the Facebook. So I want all of you 1 year later, you can actually go back to the Facebook and see how close have you actually achieved your goal or not. And of course, I hope that many of you have actually superseded. That means you have done even way beyond your goal. That's the aim that I have for all of you. So 2 minutes, okay, let's write down our goal starting from now.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
Right, another 30 seconds.
There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day.
Okay, great. Right. So really, I appreciate, okay, and I can really see that all the goals that you guys have actually really set, okay, I can see that many of them, okay, you have actually really like stretched your goal, okay, way more than what you originally believed that you can actually do it. And I really believe that, okay, after these 3 days, you guys definitely are much closer, okay, to achieving it. Okay, so again, I think dare to dream, this is something that I always believe in, because if you don't even dare to dream, okay, where you know that dream is free, right? Okay, then how is it that you can even achieve it? Okay, so I think very importantly, dare to dream big. This is something that I always believe in, and this is also something that I always tell myself, because I've seen so many people that have got the skill set, they are really, really good at doing what they're doing, but just that they are kind of feeling stuck. Okay, that is where I want to also share with you a very, very powerful story, okay, that actually share with you that many times, okay, the thing that is stopping us is not our physical body, but it is actually our own mindset. Okay, now if you look at this elephant over here, okay, we can see that the elephant is a very, very strong animal, but what happened is that the elephant is actually being tied onto a rope, okay, and the rope is being tied onto a very, very little tiny little stick. But what happened is that because of this little stick and this rope that is actually tied to the leg of the elephant, okay, is not able to run away. Now, we all know that the elephant is a very, very strong animal that can carry. Can the elephant get out of this rope? Can they pull it out? Answer is absolutely yes. So physically, the elephant definitely can run away if he want to. But why is it that because of this little rope and this little a wood that is actually tied to the leg, the elephant are not able to run away? The reason is actually because at a very young age, this elephant is actually being tied to a wood. Okay, so when the elephant is young, it tried to run away. It struggled, every single day, tried to run. But because at a very young age, the elephant doesn't have the physical strength to actually get out of it. So as time passes, what does the elephant tell himself? He says that as long as my leg is actually being tied, okay, I will not be able to get out. No matter how hard I struggle, I will always be stuck. So even when the elephant becomes larger, becomes much stronger physically, it is so much easier to get out. But because the mind is telling the elephant that you are stuck, you cannot get out. So that is the thing that's actually stopping them. So remember, all of us, okay, we have the potential to actually do way more than what we believe that we can actually do it. So that is why, I really, really challenge all of us to really set bigger goals and go all out, because what you think you can actually do, I'm sure you can do easily 5 times or even 10 times more than what you actually originally think. So this is really, really important. And for that to happen, okay, for anything to be able to make it achievable for you, step number 2 is extremely important. And that is also why at the start and even throughout these 3 days, we have always been asking all of you to write down what is your why. This is really like the fuel to keep you going, okay, because I know that over the next 2 years, there will definitely be struggles, there will be things that you have to overcome, okay, and the thing that will keep you going is definitely your why. So that is why step number 2, I want all of us, okay, to actually write down again for us, write down your why, okay, what is the why that you want to achieve your goal? Is it because of your family members? Is it because of your kids? Is it because of your loved one? Okay, share with all of us. Okay, type it into the chat so that we can actually all see it as well. So 1 minute. Okay, write down your why starting from now.
They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we desire.
Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head, a million dreams keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams.
Very last 5 seconds.
You may be right, you may be wrong, but say that you'll bring me along to the
Okay, Okay, wonderful, wonderful. I can actually see that quite a number of you have actually stated down financial freedom. Okay, but I really want you guys to actually think even further. If let's say today you are financially free, why are you doing it? Why do you want to become financially free? Let's say today you have $5,000, $10,000 coming into your bank account every single month. Okay, what does that mean to you? Okay, I think this is something that we have to actually dig a little bit further. Is it for our family? Is it because I will feel happier when I don't have to go to work? Is it because you hate your boss so much? Okay, so I want to really think about it. Okay, what is the real why? Okay, what is the real why? So at this point of time, I also want to be very, very upfront and share with all of you, okay, that there's actually one important step. Now that you actually write down your goal, now that you actually know your why, okay, I think the thing that will actually potentially stop us is this thing called obstacle. Okay, it's this thing called obstacles. So anyway, for those of you who are still writing, continue to write it, put it into the chat. But I want to actually share with all of you my biggest obstacles when I actually first started investing. How many of you would love, for me to actually share what is my biggest obstacles? If you would love me to share, can you help me to type in S for share? Right. Again, these are really, really personal story. Okay, that please do not actually share it out. Actually, okay, you can share if you want, but yeah, please try not to. Okay, so when I actually saw many of you writing down your why, okay, I actually can really relate to it. Because why? I think many of you actually write that you want to do it for your family. So for me, actually, it's the same thing. My why is actually for my family, because I think I've been brought out in a really good family where my parents really spend a lot of time to groom me. So when I actually grow up, I want to make sure that I can actually give them the best to be able to retire them. However, in my particular case, my family was my why, and at the same time, they were also my obstacles. So why do I actually say that? Is because I remember when I first started investing. Okay, the first person that I told is definitely my parents. I told them that I'm going to learn investing. I just read this book by Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I'm going to actually be in the investor region. Okay, in the cash flow, in the investor quadrant. Right. So guess what my parents told me? Do you think they encouraged me, or do you think they discouraged me? E or D? Right. I think we have very similar parents. Okay. I think most parents, were kind of discouraged. Right. And of course, for my parents, they definitely discouraged me. Reason being is because my dad actually got burned in the market during the Asian financial crisis, which is actually back in 1997. So what exactly happened? Okay, just to share with you is that 1997 Asian financial crisis, my dad invested close to $100,000 in the market, Singapore dollars. Okay, more than $100,000. But his position actually got wiped out during this crash. Why is that so? Because most of his position were in Malaysia penny stock. Okay, most of his position, they were not invested into Singapore. In fact, they were actually invested into Malaysia penny stock. How many of you have got similar experience, or your family members have actually lost money during this period as well? Can you help me to type in lose? All right, I think some of you might be very, very much relatable. But let me share with you, okay, what happened shortly after the crash. Okay, like every crash, it doesn't crash forever. In fact, in less than a year, okay, the market actually recovered. The market recovered in less than a year, right? So looking back, it's like, oh man, you just probably have to hold it for 1 year. Why is it that for my parents' case, my dad's case, he actually lost all his money? Number one is because he didn't invest into great company. Okay, he invests into company that literally disappear. Okay, right after the crisis, they didn't recover at all. Those company that he invested literally just went to almost zero. So this is also something that I kind of told my parent. I said that, do you know that at that point of time, if you had invested into a solid company in Singapore, okay, like for example, one of them is UOB, what would have been the difference? Okay, instead of losing $100,000, this $100,000 today would actually be at least $270,000 excluding dividend, which also means that every single year he will be happily collecting dividend. If let's say at the point of time my dad invested into UOB, right now he's making a good profit, would he actually have stopped me from investing? The answer is definitely no, because he understands the power of investing. Now, very importantly, if my dad were educated at that point of time, and if he had knew how to invest into the US market, instead of just looking at the Singapore market. At the point of time, 1997, okay, what do you think are some of the US companies that are relatively well-known, that everybody know? Can you just help me to name some of them into the chat itself? Okay, 1997, okay, Amazon probably still not that well-known at the point of time, but there's one company that almost everybody is familiar with it and we are still using their product, and that is none other than Microsoft. Okay, that's none other than Microsoft. Fantastic, because Bill Gates, at the point of time became one of the richest guy. So if he had invested into Microsoft and do nothing, okay, the $100,000 at the point of time today would have become $2.2 million. Okay, $2.2 million. So that is really the difference. That is also something that Pete mentioned. Okay, the loss is not in now, the loss is in the future. Okay, the difference between giving up and getting proper guidance and feedback is worth at least 2.2 million in today's term. Okay, in today's term. So that is also one of the reasons why, okay, I mentioned that, when I first started investing, they were actually, stopping me, telling me not to invest. But very importantly, question I want to ask all of you, when you actually face an obstacles, do you give up or do you overcome them? G for give up or O for overcome? Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, very importantly, when you meet obstacles, you need to learn how to overcome them. And in fact, I will tell you very upfront, will you face obstacles? The answer is yes. Definitely yes, 100% yes. But what you need to do is learn how to overcome it. So very importantly, let me just share a little secret, okay, that please, you can copy it, okay? But how I overcome these obstacles is actually I realized why my parents stopped me from investing is because they know that they do not have the knowledge. Okay, so they are afraid that, for me, if I were to do it on my own, chances of me losing money is extremely high. So what happened is that at that point of time, I was just looking through, online, trying to look for people to learn from, so of course, my first mentor was Sean Xia. Okay, so some of you might know that I actually learned from Sean, and subsequently, okay, there was actually this opportunity for me to learn from this particular lady, which is Mary Buffett. Okay, so what happened is that I actually told my parents, I told them that, hey, I actually gotten a chance, right, to actually learn from this particular lady, Mary Buffett. So they're like, who is this lady? Then, of course, I share with them, oh, this is the daughter-in-law of Warren Buffett and all that. So, of course, they also get a little bit excited. Wow, how do you get access to this particular lady? And, of course, you don't ask me how I know, but, of course, I got access. But the thing is, in order for me to learn from her, I need to fly to US. I need to fly to US to learn. So, make a guess. Do you think my parents actually stopped me or they actually supported me? Just help me to type in the full name, stop or support. Okay, so you can see some of you say stop, some say support. Okay, but I'm glad that, okay, my parents, okay, because they understand that, if let's say I really have the chance to learn from, people like Mary Buffett, then probably it's something that I should actually go and achieve it. So I'm glad that, okay, even though at the start they were a little bit against me, but, after me trying to convince them and things like that, okay, they actually supported me to go to US to learn investing, and that is back in 2016. Now, very important question. When I use the word support, some of you will say, wow, you have a rich parent. But unfortunately, when I say support, it just means mentally support. Okay, I paid for my own fees, I paid for my air ticket, I paid for my accommodation. Everything is coming from my own pocket. They just send me to the airport. That is the kind of support that I'm getting. All right. But I think very importantly, okay, I hope that my story actually inspire you guys that when it comes to obstacles, okay, please do not really just see them as something that is going to stop you, and make you give up, but rather think about how should you overcome it. Okay, and very importantly, if your why is big enough, definitely you will be able to overcome any kind of obstacles. So that is why when it comes to step number 3, I want all of you really to think about what are some of the obstacles that you will potentially face in the next 1 to 2 years, and how would you overcome it? Okay, some of the common obstacles will be, I'm not sure if I have the time to actually learn investing, or some of you will say that my spouse doesn't understand investing and he doesn't support me. Okay, or I'm not sure if I can do it on my own. Some of you say that I think if I do it, I need proper guidance, or maybe I need to commit at least 2 hours. So I want you to write down what is the obstacles that will stop you and how you would overcome it. Okay, again, for this exercise, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to think about it, and I want all of you to write it down inside the Zoom chat as well. So 2 minutes starting from now.
To the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head.
A million dreams are keeping me
A million dreams, a million dreams. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
for the world we're gonna make. Heart beats fast, colors and promises. How to be brave? How can I love when I'm afraid to fall? But watching you stand alone, all of my doubt suddenly goes away.
So I'm going to give you another 30 seconds more to continue again.
One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 Time stands still, beauty and all she is. I will be brave. I will not let anything take away.
Right, that's
Standing in front of me, every breath, every hour has come to.
Okay, great. Right. So, wow, I can see that many of you have actually write down, and some of the more common one is, of course, the lack of knowledge. Some of you mentioned about the lack of capital, but I think very importantly, yes, right now, okay, I'm glad that you guys actually are very, very open to actually write down your obstacles. And I'm sure that when you actually write down your obstacles, okay, the next thing that really you need to start thinking about is how can I overcome it? Of course, some of the things might not be immediate, okay, but if let's say you know that maybe you need to start off by saving more money, you need to actually find a job that can actually pay you more, or you need to really make time for it. If let's say you realize that you do not have time because your work actually requires you to be there for a long period of time, then what is stopping you from really finding a job that suits you, finding a job that allows you to enjoy what you're doing and yet at the same time be able to invest at the same time? Again, I think there's no limit to what we can achieve, so don't be restricted by your circumstances. In fact, think of ways to actually break out of it, okay, and really go all out to achieve your dream. So what I'm going to share with you next is that how many of you would love to 2x the probability of achieving your goal? That means you want to not just have 30%, you want to have 60 times. Yes, if you want, type me in the chat. All right, so you can actually double the probability of achieving it by doing one very important action, and that is actually the power of declaration. Okay, the power of declaration. So this is powerful. Why? Because I personally use it many times, okay, including when I want to lose weight. the best way for you to lose weight is to go to your Facebook and say, I'm going to lose 5 kg in the next 3 months. I can assure you, you will definitely lose weight. Okay, because why? Many times, sometimes we get, energy, not just from ourselves, we also get energy from the people around us. Okay, but of course, having said that, it is important for us to surround with people that give us positive energy. If let's say you realize that you post that you're going to lose weight on Facebook and all of your friends is telling you that, you cannot make it, what do you think you should do? What do you think you should do? Yes, you should delete them. Okay, you should change your community. You should change your group of friends. Unfriend them because they are not really your friend. Okay, so very, very importantly, find a group of community that actually support you, okay, to want you to be successful. Because if you are successful, am I going to lose anything? No, that I have one more successful friend, which is definitely a good thing for me, okay? So very importantly, leverage on the environment to push and motivate you. Okay, growth is definitely uncomfortable at the start. But remember, growth will actually becomes easier and easier when you actually achieve small success. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to invite one of you to come out and make a public declaration of your goal, your why, what is your obstacles, and how you are going to actually overcome it. So if you want to grab this opportunity because your goal is something that definitely you must achieve one. Okay, I want you to type in me in the chat. If you want to grab this opportunity again, I can only open up to one of you. Type in me in the chat. And of course, to make it even better, okay, for this person that actually comes out, I have a gift for you because you took action to come out and declare your goal. So I'm going to give you this gift that contains a summary of all the strategies, okay, and also a bonus ETF segment from Chloe in this particular gift. So how many of you want it? If you want, type me. Okay, that's great. And I will select the first person, okay, that actually type me, and that is none other than Eugene. Wow, I can see that Eugene really is an action taker. Okay, so can we actually invite Eugene up to share with all of us? What is your why? What is your goal? What are some of the obstacles that you face and how are you going to overcome it? Let's get Eugene up. Okay, the rest of us, let's type in CCC for Eugene. So you can see for Eugene, right, he has been very, very action taking over the last 3 days as well. Now, if you ask me, will this guy become successful? I can tell you the chances of him becoming successful is extremely high. Okay, Eugene, let me just see. Eugin. Okay, let me just go and find Eugene. Okay, I'm gonna unmute you. And yes, maybe you can say something so that we can spotlight.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, it's me again.
Good to see you again. No lah, just now is another person. Okay, but anyway, good to see you, Eugene. So yes, Eugene, the time is yours. Share with us your goal, your why, your obstacles, and how are you going to overcome it?
So I have about a 7-figure portfolio. I think I've wasted enough time trying myself, trying to learn myself and trying to make mistakes. So I have a very defined goal, which actually I declared already to my wife and also to my team, that by the time I turn 50, which is unfortunately only 18 months away, 18 months only, I have reached a certain milestone because at the point of age 50, I've decided to spend more time in the social sector. So to do that, I need to have something that can take care of all my expenses without me having to work part-time. And so therefore, my goal is by October 2023 to reach a 7-figure USD portfolio. And by 18 months, which is where I turn 50, it needs to hit 2 million. Because I've actually been doing my calculation on the spreadsheets and I need that 2 million portfolio drawing down at about 2% per month to be able to pay my bills, to be comfortable and getting at about a 4% per month return. So I think that is my declaration for my goal and my goal and my why lah. That's my why, because I need to reach it in 18 months time.
What are some of the obstacles that you think you will face?
Yeah, obstacles is because right now, as it is already, I have barely enough time to do things. I'm doing my mentoring my team, training, recruiting, doing my own sales. So, but I believe it can be overcome. I just have to spend less time on Facebook, less time watching Netflix. I mean, time is time, right? We have the time. So it's whether what I want to choose to do with that time. If I use that time to do my homework, to prep my watch list, to prep myself before the market opens, and do my trades, and I dedicate, I think 2 to 3 times a week trading max, should be enough. It should be enough. I don't need to be staying up whole night to trade. Shouldn't be. So I think it should be enough to reach my returns, my ROIs, to get my 18-month goal. Wow, I hope so. But without anyone else, without mentors, I think it's going to be probably next to impossible. So I think a mentor is important. So that's personally, I mean, it's not a sales pitch, but I've thought through it the whole night yesterday. And I decided I want somebody to walk the journey.
Okay. So you have already joined the mentorship.
Yes.
And join. Okay. Yes. Congrats for that. Okay, and yes, definitely, I think for Eugene, you are very clear about what you want. Okay, your why is very, very strong. And I think like what you mentioned that is really, really good is that all of us, we definitely have time. It's how we actually want to squeeze it out, and whether is this thing that is really important for us, that we are actually doing it. So can we all type in, okay, all the best for Eugene? I think for the rest of us, we are definitely rooting you on. We will see 1 year later, 2 years later. We also want to see, for you to be able to give up your time to focus on social cause. I think that is something that is really, really very meaningful as well. All right. So I'm sure, we are all rooting for you. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Eugene. Okay. And so we have a special gift for you. Okay. And what about the rest of you? Okay. How many of you would also love to have this special gift? Okay, how many of you would also love to have this special gift? If you want, can you help me to type in me? Okay, but I think first thing first, okay, I think it's not easy for Eugene to actually come out and share with us very, very openly, in terms of his why and his goal and all that. I think it really takes courage, okay, to really be here. Okay, so I think he definitely deserves it. Now, for the rest of you who also want to receive this special gift, right? Okay, what happened is that, okay, I want to ask all of you a very important question. Have y'all gained something from the last 3 days? Yes or no? Okay, let me just look at the chat. Yes. Fantastic. So what happened is that, okay, we really, really hope that, okay, while we give you this special gift, you can also give us a little gift back. So how would that be possible is that, if you have actually benefited from these 3 days, we would actually love for all of you to actually help us with your most wonderful review, okay, on Facebook as well. All right, so what happened is that for those of you who actually help us with this short review, our team will actually send you the special gift as well, okay, after you have actually submitted. So I'm going to give you like 2 minutes, okay? You can actually go to, we're going to put up the link. So maybe can our team put up the link in the chat itself, okay? So the special gift is a summarized version of all the strategies that we have actually learned, including a bonus ETF segment as well. All right, so I'm going to give you 2 minutes, okay, and later on, I still have something to share with you. So 2 minutes starts now. All right. I think you can continue to write for us. Okay, so some of you say the page is not found. Okay, so don't worry. Later we will actually put up the link again for the review. or very importantly, you can just search for us at Options Millionaire Intensive. Okay, Options Millionaire Intensive. Maybe I can just share the screen very, very quickly. Let me just go to that particular part. Yes, you can just go to, oh no, why is my Safari stuck? Okay, yes. So you can actually go to Options Millionaire Intensive and you can actually just type in yes, okay, for this review. Okay, and then after that, you can start typing already. So you can say, maybe I love the sharing from Pete, as well as Chloe, but most of all, I love Bowen sharing the most. Just kidding, okay, but you can write something along that line. Okay, yes. So we really, I think first thing first, we really appreciate all of you for spending these 3 days together with us, and we really hope that by you sharing this, you can actually help us to reach out to more people so that they can actually discover the power of options. And most importantly, okay, that I think right now this is really like the golden timing for anyone to actually start educating themselves about the market. So this is something that we have for all of you. Now, the next thing is, there is another bonus that we want to share with all of you. I think a lot of you is asking that is there any Facebook group that we can actually join, etc. So we also want to invite all of you to this next level investor group. Okay, so later we will also put up the link on the chat itself. Okay, so what happened is that in this next level investor group, okay, because we believe that investment is actually just one of the asset class that can actually help anyone to grow our wealth. So what happened is that in this particular Facebook group, we will also be sharing with you different asset class. For example, okay, the next 10 years, I think this is going to be really huge, and that is this thing called Web3. Okay, not blockchain, not crypto, but I think very importantly to understand the background of this thing called Web3. Okay, so it's like internet is Web 2. So what is Web 3 and what are some of the opportunity over there? So we have invited, CEO of the listed company on this area, including the CTO of our company as well, to come and do sharing. So we also share with you things like real estate and some of the asset class. So remember, this one is really for more of, if you want to understand different asset class, this Facebook group is to share with you more content. Okay, please do not ask options related question inside this Facebook group. So this is purely for sharing purposes, and also if you want to find out more about other asset class, this additional bonus is for all of you, right? And yes, coming back, I think you guys have already helped us with this amazing review earlier on. So I just want to add on to one more thing, and that is what is next after OMI, after these 3 days. Okay, so what happened is that I also want to be very upfront. Okay, and that is not everybody after this 3-day class will have similar result. Right, this is something that is, I want to be very upfront with all of you. Okay, so remember, your result is actually an outcome of your action. So I want to ask all of you, what outcome do you want to achieve? Do you want your portfolio to be like the blue line? Do you want it to be like the red line, or do you want it to be like the green line? Can you help me to type it in? Blue, red, or green? Fantastic. Okay, everybody, definitely, I want to see all of you to be in the green line. However, okay, I'm not sure if you guys have actually realized, okay, and that is over the last 3 days, okay, the number of people that are actually in this Zoom is actually getting lesser and lesser. Okay, so what happened is that some of the students, maybe they have got other commitment, they have got other appointments that they feel is more important, so they kind of just drop out from these 3 days. Now what happened is that those people that never take any action after these 3 days, do you think there will be any change to their result? The answer is definitely no. Okay, so the portfolio will remain the same as in the blue color line. So we also realized that there are some students who attended OMI, who got very excited about options, However, we also realized that they also let their emotions overtook them, and they started to do funny, or some of them even do high risk trade. Right, so what happened is that in the bull market, we do see that some of them are making money, but when the market started to change direction, okay, they do not know what to do, and as a result, they start to lose money. So how do we know that people are losing money? Okay, because let me share with you, when people make money, they will not email in, they will quietly make money. But when people lose money, they will start to email in. So this is one of the message, that we actually received from one of the OMI 3 days grad. okay, and things like etc. etc. But I think the keyword over here, okay, is that his portfolio actually almost 50% of the profit was lost in weeks, right? So what happened is that, okay, he didn't actually do his portfolio sizing correctly. He actually over leveraged, okay, and as a result, okay, when the market suddenly changed direction, his portfolio dropped significantly. So that is also why we have been reminding all of you many times, okay, you need to follow the rule. All right, so can everybody help me to type in FTR? Okay, which is really to follow the rule, very importantly. So as long as you follow the rule and consistently receive feedback and guidance, I will say that mastery will naturally follow, and that is how our portfolio will grow steadily and surely. Okay, so this is how you actually get to grow your portfolio slowly, okay, bit by bit. Okay, when you make mistake, it's okay, but very importantly, you must get the right feedback. Okay, learn from your mistake, and of course, continue to stay invested. Now, actually, I realized that there's also one final group. This final group of students are those that have never invested before, who are waiting for the best opportunity to jump in. Okay, but the thing is, this group of people are forever waiting. Okay, so let me share with you, what are they waiting for? So they say that they need to wait for the financial crisis to come. So I just look back at history. 1997, we have the Asian financial crisis. Okay, 2008, we have the global financial crisis. So these are all great opportunity for us to invest. If you miss 2008, when is the next best time? It's actually 2020. Right, so we also realized that back in 2020, did everybody jump into the market and invest? Not necessary. There are a lot of people who actually miss out on the 2020 bull run. But right now, okay, where we are right now, 2022, again, we are in a high inflation bear market. So I think this is really once in a decade opportunity that we definitely need to ride on. Okay, because why? You have to understand that recession doesn't come every 1 or 2 years. Recession actually comes every 8 to 10 years. Okay, and looking at the scale and the kind of drop that we are looking at, okay, this could be something very similar to 2008, 2009. Okay, which also means that there's actually huge opportunity. If we know what to do, this is huge opportunity for us to actually go in. So you have to understand that if you actually miss out on this time, okay, and never invest at all, remember, market always go up in the long run. Okay, so if you have invested 10 years ago, you would still have been making about 200%. But what we want is that, while you stay invested, during all this dip, during all this bear market, if you actually have the bullet to buy in even more, that is how you can actually supercharge your portfolio so that you can really achieve the goal that you have actually set much faster. Just like a lot of our students back in 2020, they didn't expect themselves to become a millionaire within a year, but many of them actually achieve it. Okay, so this is something that we want to see all of you over here to become the next millionaire. Okay, so very importantly, okay, stay invested and get the guidance if you actually need to do so. So like I said, okay, success is inevitable, especially for those of you. How many of you here, you want to become a millionaire? If you want, can you help me to type in M? Okay, for those of you who want to become a millionaire, remember, every millionaire starts with a 6-figure. So if you are having a 6-figure, I want all of you to aim to become a millionaire by the end of the next 1 to 2 years. Give yourself 1 to 2 years. And for those of you who are at 5-figure, okay, how many of you are 5-figure? Can you help me to type in 5? Okay, I want you to actually aim, okay, to actually hit your first 6-figure. Very important. Okay, so we aim step by step. So if you're at 5-figure, aim to go for 6-figure. And for those of you who are having a smaller portfolio, 4-figure, okay, give yourself the time and space. Aim for 5-figure and ultimately become 6-figure. Just like Jin Yi, just like Jin Jie, they started with 4-figure, they pump it up to 5-figure, and right now they're at 6-figure. And I can tell you, after this crisis, likely they will achieve the 7-figure mark. So again, this is a process. It's not a one-time thing. Okay, you also need to put in more money along the way. So don't think that you put in $10,000 and this 10,000 will continue to become a million. If possible, okay, continue to add in more savings and more amount, okay, whenever necessary or possible. All right, but I think very importantly, okay, in order for you to be able to grow your portfolio consistently, the key thing is to always start right and also to get started with quality feedback. I think this is something that we have always emphasized, okay, especially during this market. If you actually do it correctly, chances of you becoming much more successful is a lot higher. So that is really like the key message that we want to bring across to all of you, okay, from these 3 days classes as well. So right now, what we're going to do is we are going to take a group photo together, so I think this is really to remember all of us, okay, over the last 3 days. So can I invite everyone to on your camera? Okay, we're going to take a nice photo together, as a memory, and we're going to also put this onto the Facebook as well, so that we can actually all see this. All right, so at a count of 5 seconds later, okay, I'm going to count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want all of you to look at the camera and just give me your nicest smile. All right, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give us your greatest smile. All right, and thank you so much, everyone, for actually joining us over the last 3 days. Okay, and of course, before I end off, I just have a quick message for all of you. Okay, and that is, okay, for those of you who have actually been selected to join our Options Millionaire Mentorship, okay, I just want to congratulate all of you, okay, because we are very excited to see your journey ahead together with our mentor guidance. And in fact, this coming Wednesday, we are going to have a welcome briefing to share with you the step-by-step journey ahead and how you can get started with the mentorship. All right, and of course, for those of you who applied for the consultation, remember to reply to our consultant WhatsApp message. If not, they will have to give your slot to another student because of, like many of you have actually applied. Last of all, okay, I just want to thank all of you for taking part in the lesson so actively. Can we all type in CCC in the chat? Okay, this is really, clap for everyone who are actually here. Right, you guys are really amazing. Okay, final message that I have for all of you really is to start investing. Work hard in your investment journey, master this skill set in the next 1 to 2 years so that you can actually use investing to generate yourself and your family a lifetime of passive income. With that, thank you everyone, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.